What's up, everyone? This is DyanaRozay. Welcome to my channel. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat, please. No sound. Yes, you can hear me? Okay, go ahead and drop your city in the chat, please. Let me know that you can hear me. Thank you very much. We have a lot to talk about today. Yes, thank you, Jewel. Love Key said that she can hear me. Yes, you can hear me now. Great. We all perfect. Go ahead and drop your city. I see New York City, Syracuse, Brooklyn. I see Newman, Georgia. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Houston, Texas, Cleveland, Ohio, East Orange, New Jersey, London. Hey, how's it going, London? Frisco, Kingston, Jamaica. Hey, everybody. We got Maryland. Huntsville is in the house. Atlanta. Perfect. Toronto, Canada. We got another one from London. I see East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Orlando, Florida, Cincinnati, Ohio. All right, y'all. Go ahead and hit the like button as you come into the chat. I see what we got here, 268 watching. Go ahead and get my likes up to 500, please. All of you watching, go ahead and get it up, okay? Let's see here. Okay, I am on the cam. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. You can probably tell that my voice sounds a little scratchy. I lost my voice Monday and yesterday. So I am just now getting it back. So I hope that it doesn't sound too awful for you guys. I see Oakland, California is in the house. But there has been a lot of stuff going down these last couple of days. I miss you too, Miss Willette. Travelnista, hey, how are you? Anyway, I had lost my voice and I could not talk, but now it's coming back, and hopefully you guys are okay with the way this sounds. It's not too scraggly. Let's see what else. We got New Jersey in the house. So yeah, you guys, there has been so much going down with the cast, specifically our girl, well, I shouldn't even call her our girl, right? Destiny. Destiny has been showing out. Am I right? She has been on, I think, 3 different interviews. If you guys listened to my review for Saturday's episode for the reunion, I told you guys then she had made the comment that the darkest thing, one of the darkest things Melody had done to her was reveal that she had given her $6,000. And I was like, child, it wasn't even Melody who gave the dollar amount first. It was you. You had went on to another YouTuber's channel. You gave a whole breakdown. You were like, she gave me money for my court case. She gave me money for what else? For my charity. She gave me money for something else. She had given us a complete breakdown. You guys remember that? And I was like, there's something wrong. There's something that's disconnecting for her. Thank you guys so much for the compliments. I appreciate you guys. She's fighting for her man. Ooh, who's the man, child? Is it the initial MH? Okay. Someone else is saying she has really been grimy towards Melody. Yeah, and one of the grimiest things that I have heard so far in the interviews is that she said Mel was beside her. She said Mel was by my side when my son stopped breathing. For 6 days or 7 days, he was fighting for his life, and Mel was right by my side. And I could not help but to think, I hope someone asked her, if Mel was beside you during this, the darkest time in your life, then why is it when Carlos said to you or asked you, Destiny, do you consider Melody a good friend, or asked you to confirm what Tisha said, why couldn't you have said that never happened to me? Because who does that? Who does that? What else did this child end up doing? Let's see. Yes, MH, Martel, huh? And she has been acting like a side chick, but a lot of you have also been like pointing out. I said that too in my review. I said Destiny was standing beside Martel with the he's not a good liar and all of that stuff. I was like, hey, Miss Tanga, thank you so much for coming in and being a mod. I was like, why is no one checking her on this? That is just odd to put yourself beside him. Martel can handle himself. He doesn't need Destiny. But yeah, I don't understand it. Let's see. Willette said, when you lie so much, you can't remember the first lie. Point. That is a good point. Because I honestly was like, you guys are letting these gems roll right past you. She's telling you things. You're not coming back with, hey, this is what you said. I know she said that the interview she had with Anthony felt like an interrogation and she'll never let that happen to her again. I was like, yo, that was probably one of your better interviews, even though you were acting stank the entire time. He was literally trying to have you drive a straight line because you bounce around in your communication. You bring up things that you've never brought up before. And I don't know, it's wild to me. She also said some stuff about in today's interview. Did you guys get a chance to watch the Richie Sky interview by chance? Let's see. Destiny lied and said that Mel was broke and that she was good financially, but Destiny needed a PPP. Okay, and I saw that too. That was the other thing that was really like off-putting. Melody has been pretty honest about having to start from scratch. We knew they both filed bankruptcy. I know I told you on my channel, they both filed bankruptcy. I know that what's his name? Marceau had been trying to take punches at her. Oh, we don't live in a rented house and all this other stuff. By the way, doesn't matter if she lives in a rented house. She pays the rent for that house. She still lives in a house that's way nicer than yours. And clearly, she had something going on with her and her husband that made her leave at that time that relationship with nothing. She didn't even take child support or spousal support if he was supposed to have been the breadwinner, right? But for people to want for her to lose so bad, it is beyond me. And let's also point out, you guys, let's also point out that on the reunion stage, when Tisha and Marceau had made Melody and her mother their storyline the entire season, right? Oh, she was our employee, like y'all did her a favor. This woman moved from her hometown to come to where you were because her daughter asked, could you please help my friend get his business started? Help you guys get that business started. And her mom, and what Melody ended up saying on the reunion stage was, I don't know anything about the money part, but I can tell you for the first year of their business, it was my contacts. It was my referrals that got them the business, right? And then Marceau admitted it without even hesitating. I'd like to thank Melody for helping us, which I know had to make Tisha's butt cheeks tight because she was doing everything she could to act like her and her husband built that business up. It wasn't you and your husband. It was Melody, okay? And I'll even say Martel at some point because y'all tried it. Y'all tried it, but he had to come out and say it. Let's see what you got. Constantly lying on Miss Fan. These people are something else. Constantly lying. Constantly lying. And then we have Miss, what's her name? I'm not even gonna call her Miss. We have Wanda out here saying that she is being threatened now. All the threatening that she was doing. And during that time, nobody came after Wanda. Now they're coming after Wanda. It doesn't make sense to me, but I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. London Life said, now on her live yesterday, Destiny said that she is the only female friend Martel hasn't slept with. She did say that, I remember. She said, that's probably the only reason why we're still friends. Let me tell you, that's nothing to be proud of, girl. It sounds like you're begging for some attention, is what it sounds like. And for people who know some things about relationships like that, she's giving all the signs. Am I right? She's giving all of the signs. Um, let's see. Donna said, I don't know how she put it out there that Melody cheated and had pregnancies for others. Okay. I could never do that to another woman, friend or foe. Disgusting. Again, this is a woman who literally just 2 days ago in the same interview, she says this. Melody was by my side, never left my side. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get something to drink. But she said, Melody never left my side. The entire time I was in my darkest hour, the darkest hour of my life. How is it that you don't think she deserves grace? Someone please explain that. How is it that you don't think she deserves grace? If she felt like there was something else going on, in the same way Destiny thought Melody owed her loyalty, Destiny, you owed Melody the same exact loyalty. Ugh, it is wild. Let's see. Someone said that they don't believe that Wanda is being threatened. It is hard to believe, y'all. Her problem is that she doesn't know what friendship really is. Now, I agree with this statement wholeheartedly. I actually said, who are her friends? Because if you were a real friend to her, you would say you need to back up and look at the entire picture. The way you jump ship is crazy. When you said that this woman was beside you, did you call Martel? Was he beside you? Was he beside you? Let's see. Sylvia says, I don't believe. Oh, I read that. Okay. Sorry about that. Carla said that their goal is to destroy their married, and Martel wasn't smart enough to see the signs. Their goal was just to destroy their marriage, and Martel wasn't smart enough to see the signs. But now he's feeling it. No money, no connection, no nothing. It's the first thing, and it's hard to feel sorry for him. I do agree with you. Again, this is something that Melody said first season, that they want us, that we're stronger together. And when they see that there's a wedge between us, that they come in and they pounce. And she's right. She was absolutely right. And I also feel that when they were on the reunion stage and Carlos was, talking to Melody and Martel, and, you two were like, Beyonce and Jay-Z, when the other couples, Scott 2.0, 1.0, are listening to this, I'm literally thinking, I wonder what they're thinking right now, because they did just as much to try to keep them separated, and they're still doing it. Like right now, there's this rumor out there that Martel has, I guess, shut down production or caused problems in the last couple of days with production. Now I've noticed that the cast have not posted to their IGs. Like we haven't seen regular posting from Melody, from any of the Scotts. They've all kind of stayed away from their IGs for the last 2 days, yesterday and today. So there could be some truth to there being something wrong on set, but we noticed that Destiny is making those rounds and keeping all that energy up. And who exactly is she keeping it up for? Her good friend Martel, right? Oh, ask Sheree. Ask Sheree. I think DJ Rich G asked, is the relationship real? And she was like, what? I don't know. What do you mean? What? He was like, Destiny, come on. Is it a real relationship or not? She was like, I'm not going to get in those people's business. All I can say is they have fun together. If you thought that relationship was real, you would say 100%. You wouldn't leave any question marks. What a mess. She is a mess. Constance said Martel wasn't smart enough to see the manipulation from the Scott brothers, especially Maurice. There was a lot. There was a lot. And you guys saw that on stage too. The cameraman kept panning to Maurice's facial expressions the entire reunion. And I kept saying, why? What do you guys get out of this? Like, what do you want the audience to get from this? Why would you pan Maurice? But yeah, it was interesting. Let's see. And yes, someone said Destiny has not filmed yet. I know that. Joyce said Destiny has not filmed yet. So for the last 3 interviews, all the yip yap she has been doing, they are in their 3rd week of filming right now. Destiny has not been called to set. Destiny has not been asked by another cast member to film, not even Martel. So that says a lot, right? Melody is an intelligent woman. If she was cheating on her husband, would she not protect herself? That's not Melody's character. Melody actually told us what was going on. I feel like Destiny at this point, who cares if Mel did cheat? Because, and the fact that it's coming from Destiny, like she is some sort of, I don't know, she's the truth teller. Destiny hasn't been able to tell her own truth. She hasn't been able to tell her own truth. Dee Dee is right. No storyline. Y'all were saying that Melody needs a storyline, but who really needs a storyline though? Who really needs one? Destiny has not been able to tell her whole truth since the beginning. And you know what she's been doing these last 3 episodes or last 3 interviews? If you guys want to find anything about me, just go look up my court paperwork. Look at my paperwork like you look up everyone else's. Destiny, you were the one who sat on the reunion stage in season 3 after you had said you and your spouse had divorced. On the show, you said all was amicable. You said that you and your ex-husband were co-parenting and everything was good. You came on the reunion stage and said out loud, he filed for divorce from me 3 weeks after I had my baby. That was probably the most damning thing you could have said against him and yourself. So if you were going to say that much, go ahead and say the rest. Also, everybody who's gone through a divorce remembers the exact conversation that was had, remembers exactly what they were doing when it happened. You remember everything that led up to the moment where you said, I will never continue. I'm not going to continue in this relationship. Anytime Destiny is asked what happened, what was the final straw, he didn't know how to leave and cleave. He didn't know how to, we weren't equally yoked. That's what she's saying now. We weren't equally yoked. Girl, what was the moment where your husband said, I'm done with you, and you said you're done with him? That's what we're asking you. If you were able to say that, he filed for divorce 3 weeks after you gave birth, then you can tell at the very minimum that much. That's what I think. Destiny and Latifah opened her own real estate company. Destiny was going to be working there, but Latifah wasn't going to be her boss. I wonder what that is for. Let's see. Destiny does not have a storyline, and she needs one. Well, we got to see how much, what type of appearance she's going to be making on the show. I had told you guys that I had heard from a different channel that Tiffany and Lewis were not coming back, or that I thought they were demoted, but it looks like they will be coming back. I'm actually interested in seeing Tiffany and Lewis, and I agree that Tiffany needs to bring it the way she brought it the very first time she showed up on screen. Don't let them women dog you, specifically Stormy, who was the other one, Destiny, or Kimmy. Don't let any of them dog you. They all got things that they are holding, that they are carrying, that they're trying to hide. So who cares? Melody has been the only person who's been open about her relationship and what's been going on. Let's see what else y'all got. Let's see. She said, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I think it's Irlav. She said, if you notice, Martel has going on YouTube channels talking about his feelings for Mel and AC. And he's also calling his kids the Eminem kids, including he wants the girl to be on the show. So what channel did you guys see Martel interview on? I haven't seen that. Someone said, I agree. Tiffany could really show out next season if she comes correct. Thank you. Tiffany just had a baby. Go on ahead and let them hormones do what it do. When you get into those rooms or spaces with these people who want to act silly, go on ahead and do that. Let's see. Travelnista said Tiffany also needs to come with an allegiance to Mel. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, she just had the baby shower that looked like it was held by, was it Letitia? And I had told you guys that I thought that that person who was sponsoring it was Letitia's family. You guys pointed out that it was not her family, that it happens to be a jewelry store, something that does a lot of sponsorships. Thank you guys for correcting me. Patricia said, when Martel blew up backstage and they came back on stage after break, Marceau and Maurice kept their eyes on Martel. It got so bad that Mel's bodyguards had to step in. Listen, thank you, Patricia. I said the same thing. They went from sitting, you know, if this is Tisha and Marceau were this far apart. When they came back to the scene where it was crying, they were like underneath each other, and Marceau had her hand in a fist. That's how hard he had her hand clasped. Greetings from Spain. Hey, this is Thea Love. Thank you so much for joining the channel. But clearly there was something that happened and you could sense it. You could see the energy change. You could see like Maurice, like he was glued on Martel, excuse me. Marceau, however, was looking between Martel and Melody. And one point he was handing the tissue down, but he still was staring at Melody. And I was like, holy camole, what went down? Let's see. The Martel interview is over a year old. Oh, okay. It's over a year old. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Okay. So what all happened behind stage? So excuse me again for coughing. I know you guys, this might sound a little unbearable. I'm going to try to get you guys up to talk in just a minute, but Chef Don. Okay, so this happened like right after the interview, right after the reunion film in October. Chef Don came on and he has a YouTube channel and he shared a couple of things. Number one, he said that Tisha had puppets. And then he also said that Martel had an emotional moment on stage and that he ran off of the stage. And when he ran off stage, apparently he got into it with some people in the back, behind the scenes, not on the stage, from what I'm understanding. And it was bad. That's all they would say. I've had people come into my DMs on IG and share different bits and pieces. However, they did ask me not to share a whole bunch of things. So in order to protect the people that were involved, I choose not to share that part because I understand there's some things that's happening in regards to it. But I feel like when we saw Melody crying, the tears weren't, I feel bad about my relationship being, you know, gone with Martel. She was crying because of what had went down and knowing that Martel had went back there and showed out. Okay. Let's see. Martel needs to see a psychiatrist and a therapist. And again, pay him $3,000. Pay him $3,000 for what? Anyways, this is all alleged. Let me also state that because I don't want Martel coming over here. This is the alleged story. Okay. No one has shared it outside of Chef Don that I am familiar with. Again, I've had people share some information with me, but they asked me not to give all the details. And I am literally repeating to you what's already out there. Okay. But that's how I understood it. Let's see what else is happening. And did you guys also hear the story that Destiny is now sharing about how her ex was fired from Love and Marriage Huntsville, that he was willing to continue on the show as long as he didn't have to film with her. And when he found out he had to film with her, he said, absolutely not. And they said, well, we're going to let you go. Now, what do y'all think about that story? Let's see. I'm reading the comments section, you guys, just so you know what's going on over here, seeing what I can put up. Gloria said that another blogger gave a little information. Okay, so there is information out there. Again, the first time I heard about it, it was from Chef Don. I actually shouted him out on my page when I first reported it out to you guys, and y'all can go back over there if you'd like to see what he is talking about. I'm sure he's brought it up again. Let's see. Angela Jean said, well, if it's true, Laberrick made the right decision. Okay. Somebody else said, we need to confirm LB has been fired because Destiny, ooh, she does. And Destiny said on her interview today with Richie Scott, she said, I hate for people to call me a liar because it is an insult against my character. And I was like, Destiny, child, if only you knew that you are never straight about your information, you are an insult against your own damn character. Let's see. Leslie said, I don't believe it because Destiny and her husband filmed together in her first season. So interesting stuff. She said that the reason, again, she also said that she was told about this, I guess, at the beginning of fourth season. Yeah, she does. She insults her own character. I agree. I wish that I could, I wish that she would interview with me. I would love for her to interview with me. I just want, I just want, to be able to take her back to certain conversations. If you said Melody was by your side when your son, you said it was the first time your son had ever left your presence, ever left your company, that was the first time he was removed. And the next time you see him is on FaceTime because someone shows you a video and say, hey, this is what's going on. That person who is beside me would be my ride or die forever. You feel me? Never in a million years would she get a chance. Crystal said, I think the same thing. I think Martel went crazy. This is probably why Mel and Carlos were emotional. So that is what it is rumored, that they were emotional because of that. So when we see him crying, it's not because he feels bad about Melody and Martel breaking up. They've been broke up. I think that maybe he was trying to draw the attention back to the show. And so he was saying certain things, but I think his emotion was about something else. Okay. So let's see. I have 976 of you guys watching. Hopefully everybody is hitting that like button. I'm about to put the link in the I'm about to pin the link. Here you go. So if you guys want to come up and talk, let's do it. Let's see. We got 436 of you guys who hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the like button. I would like to see 980 likes, if you will. Okay. So I just pinned the link. And I'd like for you guys to come up and let's talk about it, okay? What else did she say that was interesting? And then you guys, Martel has been, I guess it's rumored that Martel is, I guess, stopping production. So let's talk about that too. You guys remember this post that AC made, right? No, I will never be on Love and Marriage Huntsville, nor will my son. They've asked numerous times if they can have him, the F. Carlos was just in Huntsville meeting with the cast yesterday, and I was brought up. He said that I was too disrespectful. So now it is being reported that Martel is demanding that she shows up and that his son shows up, right? Because she's saying that that is his real life, right? And let me also show this to you guys. I don't know if you've seen it. One of my subscribers sent this over to me a little earlier today. Check that out. Maverick Holt has a IG page, followed by Miss AC herself. Again, she said that he won't be on the show, not without her anyway, but it looks like she is setting up a platform for her son only, not her daughter, where, she wants to see what type of money can be made, I'm guessing. Okay, you guys let me know what y'all think about that. And let's bring Sweet Lisa to the screen. Hey, can you hear me?
I can. Hello, Diana. How are you?
Hey, I was
Can
like,
you hear me?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you this evening?
I'm great. This is your first time up?
Yes, this is my first time up.
Welcome. Glad
This
to
is my
have
first.
you.
I ain't gonna keep you long. You were saying earlier, I missed a lot of the conversation because I was doing my husband's hair and he was talking over y'all ladies, so I couldn't hear everything. But you
That's
had said earlier that Destiny said that irritated you, and the thing that she said that irritated me in her video and in her interview, she interviewed with Courtney and Eddie, and I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry for saying that on your channel.
that's
My
okay.
bad. She those people. She interviewed with those people over there, and anyway, in that video, they were like, "Oh, can you tell us? Because Carlos had cut you off, and you didn't get a chance to say what you was trying to say. Can you tell us what you was trying to say?" And basically, she was trying to say that if she had to cut Martel off, then she would have had to cut Mel off for the same exact thing because they both, did what they did, and they both had outside kids. First of all, I'm sure she is talking about that A thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last time I checked, that does not produce a child. That is
Yeah,
that the other way. How
right.
plastic
I am losing you. Your
trying
sound
to
is
do, and I'm so glad that Mel is ignoring her. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Sweet Lisa,
Can you
can you
still
hear
hear
me?
me now?
Okay, you were going in
I
and
can
out.
hear you.
Okay, you can hear me.
Okay.
Okay, now you sound good. Go ahead. You were saying
So
that you know
I
that's not
think
the way to produce a child, but
uh-huh. But so I think what she's trying to do is bait her. She's trying to bait Mel to try to have a fight with her on the internet so she can try to get a storyline again off of Mel. But yes, she said in that same interview and said, "Oh, they was like, why do you think she was arguing with you? Oh, she was trying to make herself a storyline. Girl, are you crazy?
are
Like
you crazy?
Mel is a storyline."
Yes, I saw all of that and I sat there with my mouth agape. You remember on the reunion stage, Carlos says to Melody, we met Destiny through you, right? To
Right.
Melody, I met
Mhm.
Destiny through you. Then Destiny gives this long speech. Destiny, here's what you need to know. Number one, if you don't want to be on reality TV because you keep acting like I'm a trained actress and I'm not used to this, that, and the other, if this is causing you so much trauma, you got to back yourself up out of it. That's number one.
Exactly.
Because it's wild to watch you lose your mind every time you are on the screen with somebody. Stop calling people real ones. What the hell is that? Stop calling people real ones. What else did she do that got on my nerves? I see Anthony back here. Anthony, I'm gonna pull you up in just a moment. But everything that you just said is accurate. I found she was hard to deal with. She's been hard to take these last couple of interviews. And there was one thing that DJ Richie said. He was like, listen, we missed several chapters of your story, like chapters 3 through 8 are missing. And if you could have seen her face, she was just like, where are you going with this? Where we're going with this is you need to have just as much about your own story as you seem to have for Melodies, because
Exactly.
you recite everything that woman does, but you can't tell us anything you do.
Nothing.
That's the
Nothing.
problem.
Mm-mm. And that is why you said Anthony was in the back. That is
Mhm,
the reason why she was so agitated with Anthony,
mhm.
because he was like you know, he was pulling them receipts, because whenever you do your videos,
Yes,
you always got the receipts and you always show us, you walk us through everything you're telling us. And that's kind of what he did in his, that was his interview style.
yes, I loved it. I loved it. I literally, when he did it, I was like, this is the most impressive interview I have seen for Destiny. Destiny needs this. She
Yes.
needs
And that's why she all of a sudden now, I'm vetting anybody who wants to interview me. Only thing she vetting for is whose team you on. Because as long as you team Scott, then she gonna give you an interview. But if you team Mel, then she ain't coming on your platform. So beautiful lady, as beautiful as you are, please don't look for that interview, because you is not gonna get it.
I know I'm not. I know I'm not. That's why I'm talking to y'all right now. I'm like, maybe somebody will hear it and ask the questions, because we missed it, baby. We missed it. I hate that they didn't like ask her, but I think they felt like she was getting into her little, space, and so they tried to pull off of it. But I was like, this is
Well,
the time to ask.
some of those interviewers, they weren't really looking for Destiny's story. They just wanted to bash Melody.
That's
They wanted her to just say anything bad that she could about Mel. Tell us the secret. We want to know the secret. Like Carlos wouldn't let you say it, but we will. Come on, tell us the secret. That's really all they wanted. They didn't really care to know that woman. They probably already know, just like you know, that she's not even filming.
I know. I know. I know.
So that's, she's trying to get back on, in front of the camera. So she figures, let me go after Melody. I'll tell this on Melody. I'll tell that on Melody's gonna come after me. But now Melody's like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing to you. I'm not clapping backwards or forwards. I'm gonna keep moving. And I'm
Melody
so proud of her.
say her name when she was doing those blogger interviews. She was like, "Who?"
Right. But she won't do the same thing. Like, why do you keep saying this girl? Somebody had said to me today, well, she can say, Mel, people are asking her. But the answer she could say is, listen, I have no comment.
I have
If
no.
you're trying to get to know me, she's not a part of my story. I mean, my gosh, she's only known Melody since she came on the show.
And truth be told, when everybody was asking her, she chose not. I don't have anything to say. I ain't worried about it. But now that you are talking, you're pretty much telling on yourself. You are again showing that you were the problem, not her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what she's doing. But
Yep.
anyway, you said you had some other people in the back. So I won't take up any more of your time, but thank you for letting me come up, and thank you for being you. I love your channel. Of course, that's why I'm a
I
full-fledged
appreciate
member. Yeah. So
it.
keep doing what you're doing. Doing a
Okay.
great job.
Thanks.
I'll go back in the chat.
Okay.
Hi, Anthony.
Okay. She was sweet. All right.
She really was. Tell us, hey, hey, love, how are you?
Okay. How are you?
I am good. I
So,
really want to tell you thank you.
oh, well, you're welcome.
So many people came to my channel and they put in the comments saying, I'm here because of DyanaRozay. I was like, okay. I'm like, let me go look up and see what I'm missing.
Listen,
But thank you so much
you're
for just giving me the
welcome.
credit and just everything.
Oh, no problem at all. Listen, I mean, I'm like a year and a couple of months in the game, so I know how it works. So I was like, I'm going to give y'all a little bit, but y'all go over and listen to the whole thing. And you did a great job, honestly. I could see what you were doing. I thought that you were as respectful as can be. But, it is what
Thank
it
you.
is.
Girl, all I can say is that it worked in my favor. And that wasn't even the intent to be messy like that. Just answer the questions.
I didn't take
Girl.
it as messy either. Listen, you did a great job. I loved it. I loved it. You have a good channel.
Thank
Thank you.
you. I didn't really have much to say. I just really just want to come and tell you thank you.
Okay.
And you all have a great show. I'm gonna close this store down and go home.
Okay. Well, you go ahead, go home. Thank you for coming up, and you are welcome for everything. I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Right, bye.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We have Red and.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. Um,
Welcome. This is your first time up. I like to
it
acknowledge
is.
you're the first time upper.
It is. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Um, I have actually been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville for since the beginning.
Mhm.
I am from Huntsville,
Oh, okay.
so I haven't seen them around or anything like that, but I have been watching the show. And what I've actually started doing was I went back and started watching from season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have noticed is, of course, some of the things that we saw in season 1, we just had to take it at face value until we started getting further into the season.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one meeting where Melody and Martel was having with I believe it was the architect and the general contractor for the 2 properties on Stag Run.
Okay.
The young lady, Andrea,
Mm-hmm.
she's the wife of Neville.
Mm-hmm.
Neville is really good friends, I believe, like a bigger brother figure to Martel. When
Okay.
they had the open house at Stag Run,
Mm-hmm.
they introduced Andrea and Neville as husband and wife. And when they talked to Martel about, who they were,
Mm-hmm.
he said that he's known Andrea for about 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
She was a cheerleader
Mm-hmm.
that cheered when he was on the football team.
Okay.
Doesn't that storyline sound the same that somebody else said?
Destiny.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, does she really truly have a storyline, or is she kind of pulling from what she thinks we've forgotten?
That's a very good question, and I don't even know how to answer it. A part of me, and I've said this on my channel before, and I've said it and gotten attacked by it, but I said Destiny, to me at first, I was like, seemed like she suffered some sort of trauma, and
Mm-hmm.
she does things where she says these either really horrible, this happened to me with nothing else, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
No other story to it, just this huge horrible thing happened to me. And then when someone is trying to show interest or, what happened, Destiny, she pounces on them,
Right.
or
Right.
she will say these little things like you just said, like, well, isn't that what such and such said? And you're constantly trying to catch up. And where I am right now, I don't want to catch up anymore. I feel like I know Carlos said that he was bringing her back and everything, but I think that what's happening now, especially after she shared these other stories about where Melody was, where she was with Mel, like me and Mel were really friends, we really rock like that. When someone says to you, is there any way you guys could, be friends again? Never.
Never.
When you hear that kind of stuff, you're like, well, what the hell?
Right. Right. And if you're putting Melody out there as not being a good friend because she told that she had given you money, I would think that you would absolutely be tripping over yourself trying to tell somebody all of the things that you actually did. Because, on the stage, she said, I I hold the secrets.
I
You don't want me to tell those secrets. But Melody was like, okay, go ahead.
go ahead and tell him.
Uh,
And that's not the first time she said it. The first time she said it was on the nightcap with Carlos King. I know where
mm,
the bodies are buried.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But I know when when she first had those melodies with mimosas with Melody,
Hmm.
I think it was at Antebellum or something like that. It was an
Hmm.
outdoor space.
Hmm.
I believe the young lady that was sitting in the front at one of those tables was Destiny.
Oh,
It actually looked like her.
yeah. She said that she's been in a couple of episodes. Now, I do remember her from first season. I remember her being at the event where they had the magazine shoot. That was the first time I saw both her and Laberrick. But
Yes, I
she
did
actually
a
gave
berry.
three different times she was on season one. So she was kind of like filler, I guess. Uh,
Hmm. Yeah, there was a lot of people that I actually, saw in some of the filming that are from Huntsville, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that they were friends with this person. Oh, I didn't. Oh, that type of thing. So it's really good to actually go back and start watching from
mhm.
season one to kind of see
And catch up.
what's
Mhm.
yeah to kind of see what's changed because yeah, Tisha was, yeah, she was really harping a lot.
Right. When you
A
go
lot.
back and look at it, it's not Mill that was the problem. Even though
Exactly.
everybody wants to make it her the problem, it was not her.
It really was not. She was absolutely enjoying, just putting it out there about Martel and Melody's business and things like that. She was loving it. She was absolutely loving it.
I
But now
agree.
that the tables are turned, now she's wanting to not talk about her marriage and saying that Melody wants to destroy hers. But she actually did say that, she had questions about her marriage in the beginning. But I guess, if you forget the lies that you tell or you forget what you say and thinking that people are going to forget it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Sure.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay. I'm going to bring up Travelnista because we haven't had you on the channel before. What is up?
Hey, Chica, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks for asking. Just a couple things I wanted to say. First off, I wish you, Anthony, someone would get a interview with Laberrick.
Mhm.
I think that would be so great.
Okay.
And the other thing I wanted to say, as far as Destiny, I think her course has ran out on the show. She hasn't produced anything the whole time she's been on there. So I don't understand why Carlos wants to. She's not an asset. Why does he continue to hold her as a cast member on the show? I mean, that's money just being given away. Who goes to work without earning their paycheck?
I agree with you. I said the same thing. I was like, this was the first time we ever heard her refer to herself as a friend of the show. And I was like, you never referred to yourself as a friend of the show before, but I'll accept it. I'll take that. But the fact that you rode this whole you and Melody had an issue in fourth season, no one cares about this new relationship you have with Moses because we don't know what happened to the last relationship. You keep leaving out these huge parts of your life that at this point I think the audience is like, we're worn down, we're tired.
Basically,
I
and
feel.
it's bye bye Destiny for good. I mean, just go ahead and go. And
Yeah.
then another thing I wanted to touch base on why I have your ear is the fact that um yes, Martell is a narcissist. And there's nobody that can tell me otherwise. And I when I hear people say that he loves Melanie, No, no, he doesn't. That's not love, because love is kind, it's meek, it's long suffering, it's understanding. It's all that what the word says that it is. And I think that he's lost everything. He's hit rock bottom, but he's still not taking accountability for his actions. And I think he's his mind is burdened down with the fact that he's between a rock and a hard place because he's still trying to protect the Scots. I think that's the thing that holds him more hostage than anything. Because
It's
at the
weird.
hmm?
Weird that how protective he is over the Scots.
It makes no sense. I mean, he needs to free himself. I
He
think
needs
if he free
to
himself of that, that will give him some sort of healing, even though this man actually does need counseling.
Mhm.
And I always say, when I do come on people's panel, I only go so far to say certain things when I talk about the narcissistic behavior, because I've been privy to that,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And when you have people that can go on YouTube, because this information is out here forever. I always have to be careful about some of the things that I say because of the real relationships that are in my lives.
Mhm.
Because some people, they accept that behavior
Mhm.
because they've been abused for so long, they don't see anything wrong with it. And I recognize the dysfunction, so, but anyway, I just wanted to come up and say that, and that Martel, he really needs help, but he needs to free himself by letting go of whatever it is that he's trying to hold on to concerning the Scots, because it's going to help him in the long run.
I agree. One of the things that stood out for me is that when he was on the reunion stage and he said, if Melody tells you that she forgives you, never believe her because she doesn't forgive people. And I was like, she was in a marriage with you while you cheated for 5 years. For 5 years, she was in a place of forgiving with you. What are you saying? But he feels that way about her, but he's okay with the Scots and how they've tried to bring him down. And just because they can say, does he have no friends at all? What is it? What is it that keeps him tied to that relationship?
Exactly, because it makes no sense. But another thing too is the fact that he does not understand when those children get a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing that Mel has those children in counseling, because the detriment of being raised by a narcissistic parent,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't get counseling, oh, it's a life of torment.
I know. I,
Relationships, all types of relationships, it's gonna affect it, and that's real talk.
I agree. And she is aware of it, and from the beginning, the fact that she was even on it, like, I'm going through counseling, my kiddos are going through counseling, we are really creating legacy and wealth, and I don't want them to grow up and be disjointed because of the things they saw between him and I, and continue to see. Basically, I mean, they had to go through a lot within a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yeah,
happy that she's a smart mom. She
she is.
really is.
Well, Dana, it was good to see you, talk with you, and I'm gonna drop down in the chat. I won't be with you the whole night because I do have another commitment, but I love you, girl.
I love you too.
All
Thank you
right.
for coming up. Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Okie dokie. Hey there, pretty brown eyes.
Hey, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you? I have a
Happy New Year. I've been having phone problems and haven't been able to come up on the lives, but I've been watching.
I'm glad you came up today. What are your thoughts on everything that Miss Destiny has been spewing these last couple of days?
Is it me or does it seem like she might be kicked off the show? I'm
um,
just saying because it's like, okay, They wanted you to be more open and honest, but that doesn't mean tell all of Melody's business. You still haven't added anything new to your story, like nothing that she said other than saying something that Melody already said
Yep.
that we already know. So she hasn't said anything or added anything even to Melody's story.
Nope.
I'm just trying to figure out why it's Wanda, her, Martel, Funky Geneva, and all of them on this big, huge character smearing campaign with her.
Good
And
question.
Carlos is even low key on it. Well, high key on it too,
Okay.
because the last thing that he said was to tell the millimeters to leave me alone. So all next thing you know, here comes Wanda. Oh, the millimeters are threatening me. When you had your crazy cousin threatening this lady with a chopper. Like, I mean, make your mind up. I thought you said what you said and you ain't changing it, and all the stuff you said, you so big and bad and from Bessemer. What you scared for now?
First of all, I have to see the threats. I
There's none.
my first thought when I first heard it was, when did this happen? Is this recent? Because if nobody was threatening when all of that madness and mayhem was going on, why would they threaten now? What would be the point? She hasn't been on the show. We haven't seen her. She has a whole YouTube page dedicated to
Correct.
spewing things against Melody. Said her first guest was going to be Martel's baby mama. That's how
Correct.
hateful this woman has been. And nobody has said anything. It's crazy
No.
to me.
But if Melody says, "Oh, I let a friend in need borrow, gifted a friend or gave a friend some money," oh, she is just the most darkest, evilest person
Yeah.
in the absolute
Yes.
world. So it just seems like it's just a big double standard. And I don't know if they're just gaslighting us or what, because it's like everybody sees it,
Yeah.
and it's like, but they have like the willful ignorance or willful, just they're just ignoring everything that is happening to Melody. And I'm like, Carlos, where were the tears for Mel? And then Destiny has nothing better to do than to go run around and, oh well, she didn't have credit and she filed bankruptcy and she did this and whoop 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 and I had to be there for her. Destiny, you didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out since Melody met you. You have been on the needy end,
Right.
begging to be in her village.
The crazy
Uh,
part
er,
is it was Destiny who said she was needy. It was Destiny
correct.
who said she had to get on public assistance. It was Destiny who said she had the PPP loan and all kinds of stuff that we did not ask for. None of us asked for.
I can't remember what YouTuber did it, but they did a little clip of her every single time that she said she was broke. She went to
Yes.
Tisha. She went to Melody. She went to well, she didn't go to Melody. She dry bag with Melody. That's what we call it where I'm from. When you don't necessarily ask out front, hey, can I borrow $2,500? You just
Mhm.
say, "Oh Lord, my bills late, and I don't know what I'm gonna do."
So London Life said that they are trying to drive Mel off the show. Sweet Lissa said, thank you so much for the super chat. She said, PBE is right. Carlos was very involved. That's why they gave that millimeter mess at the end of the reunion. Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to take her fan base away. And just like Martel said, oh, if you really knew her, you wouldn't be her friend and you wouldn't follow her. They are all so pressed that people love and support her. But I guess it's the blatant disrespect of her and the gang up that is drawing everyone to her. I seen it said, oh, the only people that follow her or like her are women that were cheated on. No, anybody can empathize with somebody that is going through what she went through, no doubt. But they are sitting there letting men attack her. I haven't heard Martel talk to anybody. Like he didn't yell at he didn't yell at Tisha. He didn't come for uh Kimmy. He didn't say anything to Destiny. But he's blatantly Marceau, Maurice, Martel, all of them. Melody mom and Melody, oh, they can just talk to them like they men. But Destiny, this is not in her defense, but just to show the double standard, Destiny sat up there and was pretty much defending herself, and Kimmy jumped in with her no storyline, really not showing a lot of herself. God bless her. I'm sorry that she's going through what she's going through. This is no attack on her
What are you
illness.
referring to
But
when you said Kimmy jumped in? What happened?
Kimmy jumped in and jumped on Destiny and said, you don't have a storyline and you don't give and you woo 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 woo. But Kimmy, really, you haven't gave anything either. And Maurice is
What
jumping
Kimmy
on
was saying
your
was when they asked Kimmy if she that Kimmy said she's tired of them yelling at her saying, pull things out of Destiny. She said, don't you see me effing trying? She won't do it. And I was like, that is hilarious, because even in the safest of spaces, because y'all remember when Mel was sitting on the couch at Destiny's house and Melody was asking her about the divorce and she went, I'm not Martel, I'm not Malia, I'm not the, remember
correct.
her on her?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do it. You got a super chat.
Yeah, yes. This is from Lee Gill. They said, the more they smear, the more we cheer. Win, Melody, win. This is from Lee Gill. Thank you so much. But
Amen, Lee.
We saw Destiny when she was in a good space with Melody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after
Mm-hmm.
that season, when she flipped out on Melody, I remember Melody saying, y'all saw how she engaged with me. That wasn't called for. You also saw Wanda say, come on over here to our side, Destiny, because she'll put all your business out there. If y'all don't want to be on the show, get
Off the show.
Why do
Right.
you keep doing this?
And the last point that I'll make, because I mean, I'm no at this point, I got my tiny violin and we're just preaching to the choir. All we can do at this point, Melody is already in God's hands,
Fact.
and for every demon, 5 blessings.
5
And it shows by the fruit that she's bearing and the outpouring of love and support that she's getting. So whatever they plan or their attacks, it's not working, obviously. But
facts. Agree.
I did witness in my trolling on these YouTube streets,
Okay.
I was on a live
Okay.
where people were two different lives at different times, where I heard two specific different female content creators. I'm not gonna say the names,
Okay.
but I heard them crank calling Wanda.
Oh wow,
And
really?
talking to her, and one of them, even, and people that are in the chat will be familiar with the story. It was going around and they made a video about it. They tricked her into thinking that they were going to order like a big thing of food from her, and like get her to cater something, and then at the end they just was laughing at her. You see what
Oh.
I'm saying? And
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. I think I saw that too.
so, with that being said, these Wanda has given her number to these different YouTube creators,
Yes.
because at one point they were on Mel's side, but then now,
Yes.
and then they kind of switched when she opened up her YouTube page, and a lot of them were over there with her and the other lady, on her page. And the people who's calling Wanda is people she know, or she's making up a lie. And then the other incident, I was on another page where they had a whole bunch of different people's numbers. They had like Martel number, Wanda number, like different people's numbers, and
Wow.
they were sitting there crank calling them on their live.
Wow.
So
Wow.
for them to spin this like it's a Melody thing at any point,
And
I
you know
can
what else?
it. I've
You
seen it
bring up a good
and
point.
heard it.
You bring up a good point, because what's truly pissing them off is that Melody has fans that support her and love her, and they don't. That is
Correct.
really what upsets them. And job is to try to bring her down a peg or two in the fans' eyes. That's what they want to
But it's
do.
but all they're doing is making us gravitate to her, because it's almost like you're always going to root for the underdog. And to relate it to Kimmy, it's like, yes, everyone's rooting for her because she is sick, and we can empathize. And then they, in my opinion, this is only my opinion, this is not the opinion of Miss DyanaRozay, this is my opinion, so do not take it out on her. Because they said you was impartial, which that's a whole nother thing, because they are pretty much getting you YouTubers to pitch y'all against each other. That's what I'm noticing. Well,
Oh,
anyway, it's basically the male fans versus the ones who don't like male. That's kind of the content creators that Destiny's going on to their channels spewing her hate.
oh,
So what I was going to say was, yes, they're turning us into millimeters, even if we don't want to be, only because of the mistreatment that they are doing to her in plain sight.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, y'all are going through all of these measures for why? She already said, I'm not leaving my show until I'm ready. And every attack that they bring on her just boosts her in another level. So it's just like, okay, what are you going to do next? Now here comes Martel. He's at an interview saying he made her. Well, if you made her, why you can't make yourself? Why you can't make your baby mama? Why you can't pass the builder's license test? Why you don't got more than 2 pair of shoes? You know, what is the problem? And Destiny the same way. I helped her. Um Melody, you begging to get in her village, but you helped her. I don't believe you. You need
Oh,
more people.
speaking of the village thing, that was another thing that she did not tell the truth about. Anybody who watched the village conversation that happened at Melody's video viewing, you would have heard Destiny say, I can watch the kids instead of you having them with all those different people.
Yeah, with the different baby. She said babysitters, I believe.
Yes.
Martel's
You hear
exact
something
words.
said earlier in the episode when Melody and him sat down and he first threatened, or that actually was his second time threatening. The first time he threatened was like later, but that was the second time he threatened to take her to court for full custody. And
Correct.
I don't know why she wants to pretend like she never said it. You said it. You
She
said
said it. I think the girl is losing it because she goes on different platforms and forgets what she says.
it.
Dinah, I'm just to the point where I don't believe anything she says. I don't believe.
I agree. Uh-oh, I lost you. Okay, I'm not sure what happened with Pretty Brown Eyes. I'm gonna bring up Crystal. Hey, Crystal.
Hi.
Hi.
I,
How are
I
you?
turned my camera off because I'm trying to drive.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's okay. You had your camera on. That's why I was like, let me bring Crystal up real fast so I can see somebody when they're talking.
I'm sorry.
That's
But
okay.
I will be looking all over the place, and I'm not a really good driver. But
Okay, no worries.
so
This is the first time I
I'm
had
not
you.
going to be on long.
Huh?
I just wanted to tell what I kind of thought about the young lady who said that Martel, she doesn't understand why Martel keeps protecting the Scots and things. I don't think that Martel is protecting the Scots. I
Okay.
think Martel is around the Scots because he has a wish factor to do business. They're hoping that he's hoping they can do business with him again. Because Martel's he's problematic and he can't reveal that to new people. He just can't. And he will lose it until he gets himself together. He will totally lose it in front of anybody else. He can't do those same tactics because Melody was the brain behind it. She was the mouthpiece behind everything. Martel would not be able to handle the conversations, the business meetings, or anything. He would totally lose it. Look how he did with Chris Fletcher. So when things don't go his way, he has to remind people, remember, I'm your friend. Why would you do that? And he can't do that in a regular business dealings. Nobody is going to deal with that.
Martel had one of the sweetest deals ever. He literally was going to have a whole like housing complex named after him, Holt Manor.
Right.
$multi-million deal that was going to set him and his children up, according to Chris Fletcher. You messed it all up. Like,
He did.
if he could have just gotten, at the end of the day, I know everyone want to say, I shouldn't even say everyone want to say. What I'm going to say is that the Scots, Destiny, whatever that other raggedy girl's name is, AC, they all want to blame Mel and say she's the reason why, if she wouldn't have brought it to the show, then everything would have been able to carry out. That's not true. It's not true. All of that stuff would have been uncovered before we even got to the next season, period. Because people were willing to push that stuff like they're still pushing all of those cheating rumors and allegations out to the blogs and to YouTubers, period.
Right.
And I hate that they keep thinking Melody was supposed to just keep all that mess on her shoulders. She left. It is what it is.
Right. And a lot of people are treating Melody's and Martel's relationship as if you just left your baby daddy, and that's that. You stay with your baby daddy so long, and that's that. See, when you're in a marriage, that is not the situation. You can't just it's hard to just throw it away. You have to do everything in steps.
Child, Destiny actually said, we both went through a divorce. Destiny, you were married for less than a damn year.
That's correct.
For 14 years, literally walked out the door with a 3-month-old. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. And see, and for me, I was in a marriage to my first marriage. Now, my second marriage, I've been married for 20 years now. But like my first marriage, I had 4 kids. I had 3 sons from my first husband. And when we were leaving each other, I was 9 months pregnant with my baby boy, and he kicked me in my stomach.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, and like kicked me in my stomach and slammed the car on my leg. Thank God it was an undercover police outside that saw it, but he just could not get with the fact that I was out of there. And see, I ran most of everything. I actually literally ran everything. And once he realized his money was gone, he just flipped out. And so I can believe that Martel is flipping out because he doesn't know what to do. He's not a smart man. He really isn't.
Child, I hear you, but
because if he had any sense, I mean, he graduated college. I mean, he could be like an online professor, but he chooses not to because he can't do any of that thing. He can't teach any classes. He doesn't even know how to speak.
I know. And he knows that too. And that's the crazy part about it is that he had the perfect partner. So, like we all saw what he tried to do with AC in the car with the not too sweet, not too dry red wine. She could barely get the words out.
Exactly.
He didn't know how to sell it at all. But Melody knew how to pick up where he, couldn't do certain things. And he will always miss that because he will never have it again. But it is what
he will
it is.
Never have it again.
I can't help but to ask, how did your baby? You said that he did everything.
My baby is 26 years old. he gives me issues, but he's a good son. I will say that he's a good son, and I don't have any problem. He just got a mouth on him. But I mean, he's doing very well. All 3 of my sons are doing very well. I mean, I don't think either of them even talk to their father.
Okay, I understand.
But I will say when they were growing up and they were doing visitations and stuff, he did paint me as a bad person. I can remember my kids coming home telling me all the things he said.
Wow. I hate
so
that.
Yeah, so I mean and the last thing, anybody, including Sheree, and Sheree has that mouth on her. So I don't think Martel would be able to hold his temper with Sheree.
You said a mouthful.
I
I,
don't think that she will, and I think that she better take heed to what his temper is like, and run really fast. Because if she doesn't, she's going to be in danger.
I think that Sheree lifts those weights, so she'll be punching Martel out. But I will say, I don't think it's a real relationship. Some of the things that Destiny was saying, the way she was
Okay.
answering the question, there's a way you would answer a question if someone says, "Is this a real relationship?" and she didn't do that.
Oh
She,
yeah, that's true. She did
yeah,
not. Yeah, Destiny just picked the wrong side. Destiny doesn't even realize that she picked the wrong side, and she's making it worse. And actually, I honestly feel like when her and Melody kind of fell out, well, she fell out with Melody because Melody didn't fall out with her. That
mhm,
that was an easy fix. That definitely was an easy fix, but she wouldn't give the person any room to just be to themselves, and now she doesn't know how to fix it. She can't fix it anymore. She
yeah,
went too far. I mean, Martel literally said to her, "Remember that you were my friend first." So he had to remind her like 2 times that you were my friend.
yeah. Well,
So it's
she's
just no
up to bat
fixing there.
now. Yep, she's up to bat now, and she's doing everything that he asked her to do.
And that's correct. So now she's got to be the battery. She got a battery from Letitia because she's doing Letitia's dirty work because Letitia is on Martel's team as well, smearing all that foul mess about Melody, and Destiny pretty much joined it.
Facts. You're absolutely right. You're.
So, but that's it. Thank you so much. I
Thank you,
appreciate you pulling me up.
I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Okay, I have Golden. Hey, Golden, are you on?
I am. Hi, Diana.
Is this your first time?
No, I've been on before.
Or your pitch is different?
Yeah, because I'm sorry, I'm sick. I wanted to get on a couple of times before, but like I
Okay.
literally sounded like a man.
No. What do you
So
think about
like,
everything?
yeah, the hoarseness is still there a little bit, but like sometimes I feel like people would prefer for me to sound like this than that other like little high voice. So I have so much to talk about. Some people have already said some things, but like I'm so agreeing with what everybody has to say. But once again, thank you for having me on.
Thank you for
I'm sorry. I want to first start saying bye. I'm so over Destiny. Oh my God. I cannot. I'm so over her. Like she is getting on my nerves so bad. And I don't it's I'm not sure if she doesn't realize that she's her own worst enemy,
Mm-mm.
or if that like
She thinks she's
what's
such a
keep
solid person. It's like one of the craziest things. I'm like, does she listen to herself talk?
right.
Does she think she's such a solid person that if anybody brought this conversation back to her, like, Destiny, how do you make these two things balance? She would think you're crazy. How dare
Right.
you question me?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, I honestly like I look at her and I'd be like, Destiny is she's so is she miserable? But I don't even know if it's that. Like there's like this two sides to her. You can remember how she had Mel's back so much that literally you would see her checking Martell and
Yeah.
telling Martell how he was wrong. To now, she's like Mel's like public enemy number one to her. I don't understand that. I don't understand how that changed because really the thing was that for me, what I saw from Destiny in the past couple of seasons was for her, it was right is right and wrong was wrong.
Mhm.
And that's how I saw it with her. Like, she was the complete opposite of Miss Marlene, whereas, we still know Martell can do no wrong. But for Destiny, no matter how long they've been friends, and I must again say, their history changes with the wind with Destiny. That's how you know she's a liar. Because every time she tells a story about her and Martell, it's a different story. I mean, she hasn't even again never mentioned again how Miss Marlene and her daddy dated. I mean, so like that's only been said one time. And I believe Mel when she says that they've been friends for 20 years and she's never heard of her before she met Laberrick. Before
Destiny confirmed
Laberrick
it.
around.
Destiny confirmed it on the reunion stage. She said, I wouldn't call that woman's husband as a single woman. If that's your friend, girl, and you want to
Right.
put the flag in the sand and start waving it proudly, then you should have waved it proudly before the show started.
But they're so close. They're so close. How are they so close? Girl, he didn't even invite you to his wedding. How are y'all so close? You mean Miss Marlene and your daddy dated, but you weren't even invited to the wedding? I don't understand. I don't get it. But I digress.
You
Um, I cannot, nobody can make me accept the relationship between Stormy and Destiny. I mean, this girl threw a chair at you, boo. She threw a chair at you. And then you got Stormy literally like begging her to be her friend. Where
Yeah,
where you do that at?
nowhere.
Where do you do that at? She treats you like garbage. She wouldn't even look in your face, give you the decency, the respect to look at you in her face when you're sitting there saying, girl, I'm proud of you. I
Yeah.
respect you so much. This is doing, I mean, like, because I would have been clowning her. This is your grand opening, and you got like 3 packs of hair on the wall. And
If
you're
you guys have not heard the interview with DJ Richie, you should listen. Because one of the things she says is when he was like, asked the exact same question, what happened, Destiny, with this? Were you aware? And she was like, it was like an outer body experience. She said that somebody in her family called and said, you need to get off of this show because you are, who you are on the show is not who you are, which I don't think that to be the case. I think it
I
is.
don't believe that.
And she said, she said, I didn't realize my energy with Stormy. And DJ Richie, in the nicest way, said, did you forget you was filming? Like what's going on in your head where you're no longer on set? Like you're transporting someplace else. She was like, well, if it was my event and if I was in a corporate setting, I would have been more aware. And I said, corporate settings for Black women is some of the most violent.
Exactly. Exactly. I literally left hospital administration and started travel nursing because I got so tired of exchanging, matching energy with other people at the table and,
I know.
and being pinned
I
as
know. I said,
like,
Black women, we get it from every
yes,
way in corporate setting. Black men,
yes,
white men, white women, other Black women. We
yes,
literally, by the time you get home, you have nothing left.
yes.
Nothing left. So,
People ask me all the time, girl, you left your good government job. Let me tell you something. I would prefer any day, like I clock in happy, clock out happy,
I know.
and my contracts are limited. So if I don't like the hospital, guess what? I know how many weeks I got.
Okay. Please, let's
Oh,
put a date on it. This is when I'll be gone from here. This is the
yes,
last day.
yes. That's
Yeah.
how I feel. But like, think about it. Then, even when Stormy tried again and met with her, this
Yes.
never told her, I don't know what I did with that Gucci bag. Are you serious? So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
the third strike. And then even after that, she still met her with bad energy. She was like, well, you wouldn't put any of my products in the store. So now you're still a bad person because this girl tried to explain to you that, look, I'm a business. I'm a major business. You have to go through your distributor. Has she never seen a stylist, a real stylist, where the distributor comes in and brings the product and
No.
they buy the product from the distributor? How is that so hard to understand? That's not hard to understand.
And she
People
and she
said
forgot
Stormy was
all of
trying-
that. She forgot all of that because today she said when he asked, Like, I can't believe that you had such a hard time taking the purse. She said, well, I had a hard time taking the purse because I didn't want to be seen as a charity case. Again, blaming Melody. But I was like,
Right,
girl, it was Stormy who accused you of doing something like
right,
stealing.
right. I don't, this is, it's like ridiculous. It's like, and nobody can give Mel credit. Mel said nothing to any of these assholes for like 2 years. Do you remember all the vile things?
Oh,
All the vile things. I mean, literally, like there was one live that Miss, oh Lord, no, I didn't say that Miss to this. I
just
have never. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said just Wanda. I'm gonna say thank you to Sugar Eason for the super chat. She said Destiny can give us nothing else because she didn't
Mhm.
have nothing to give in the first place. Carlos
Oh,
is wrong on this one. Destiny is a weirdo. Okay, she has a lot going on for sure. Thank you so much, Sugar Eason. She has a lot going on. Um,
but
and
if she would just give us some of that, I mean, even if she gave us her crazy, I would be okay with that. Girl, give us your crazy. It may be entertaining. Whatever it is, give it to us. And then we'd be fine with it. Give us your crazy. I would be happy with that.
we're getting it. It's how she compartmentalizes certain events and things and make this like the worst thing that could possibly happen versus something that really is the worst thing that could possibly
Right,
happen.
right.
Like, girl, what are you talking about?
I could, there are so many of us that probably could relate to whatever trauma that she shared, that she had in the past. If she had an opportunity to share with Tiffany
She did.
whatever trauma she had in the past, but she let Tiffany share and she just clamped down on it. She had an opportunity for us to get to know her, and she chose not to do that. I mean,
Actually threatened Tiffany, mind you.
yes, yes,
Again, she says that she's not aggressive or violent, but she threatened
yes,
Tiffany,
yes.
she threatened Stormy, she threatened who else?
Oh, I mean, she's threatened everybody. She threatened Marceau. She said she remember because she said, "Hey, Jackson, shut up." Shut you, bro. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. He really thinks he's more than 5 pounds. Shut.
Oh, oh,
So we're actually, at night the big dogs come in.
okay.
And this dog is like 120 pounds.
Oh.
He thinks he rules the roof. So
So I have about 7 people in the back
yeah, this
waiting.
is the last thing I want to say because I agree with the other lady. I actually had already planned to say this. So I'm going to leave out the part about Martel making mail, but he can't make a Martel.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys saw Kempire was not Kempire. DJ Richie Sky was featured in Mel's Canvas Beauty. He was so gorgeous in
Mhm.
her commercial. But did you see there was another content creator who showed that Martel made a commercial with some beard oil that was exactly like the DJ Richie Sky commercial where
Oh, no, I did
in the
not see
sink,
that.
yes, where he's in the sink, coming out the sink, washing his face, and then applying the oil to his beard. Yes,
Child, I have to look this up. It's on YouTube?
it's on YouTube. Yes. I'm gonna go back and find it because I know it's in my history from watching it, and I'm gonna send it to you. It was like it's the exact same commercial,
Oh,
the exact
I
same
can't wait.
commercial. I was like, see, he can't do any. He has no ideas. All he had to do was stay with his wife and know his role. We all help each other. There's always a yin
That's
and
sad.
a yang. There's a better for me. There's a better for him. That's what he does.
Listen,
I
I saw
compliment.
that.
He
He doesn't even
compliments
have
me.
a beard.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And everybody needs to stop hating because just like we love you, Dyana, we always gonna be millimeters.
Okay.
We can't be stopped. Can't stop, won't stop. And
I
I'm
appreciate it.
phone to release that freaking clip of Martel showing his ass on that stage.
Right.
Okay, facts. Love you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. I want to shout out Mr. Silva Silver. She said, "Hello, Queen. Great job on your channel. Just want to show some love and support. Destiny lies like a rug. Child, don't she, though?" Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Now we are off to the next one. I'm trying to get some people up. I got 7 of you guys in here, so I'm going to try to get through you as quickly as possible. I have Being Real up. How are you?
Yes,
Being
ma'am. I'm
this
good, and yourself?
up?
Yes, it is my first time.
Yes. Okay. Well, welcome. I'm doing
Thank you.
good. So what?
Awesome sauce. Oh, sorry, you wanted to say something?
Nope. I was going to say, what do you think about everything that we've been discussing?
Oh my gosh. I love your content, first of all. You do such an excellent job, and I can tell that you really care about what you do, and you do, really, really good job on your stuff.
Oh, I appreciate
Um, um, Destiny is a pathological liar.
it.
Like, she really is a liar. And it's kind of getting to a point where it's comical. Like, she should be on Comedy Central with all the stuff that she comes up with out of nowhere, out of a whim. For her to pull these things out of her back pocket after she's been thoroughly embarrassed on the third part of the reunion just really proves that how much of a liar she is. How long did it have to take for her to come up with these stories, these skeletons in the closet, that she had to come and prove that Melody was such a bad friend? The more and more she conducts herself in this manner, she shows herself to be the very person that Melody said she was in the beginning, and the reason why she had to disassociate herself from her. Because the thing that brought my attention to her was, okay, so if I was across my friend at a reunion, right? And my friend just got in an argument with a girl that she didn't even have an issue with, had already squashed the beef with, and she was too ready to come in and jump in and talk about my friend. I wouldn't be sitting in the hotel room talking to that girl later on, chopping it up with her and holding a conversation with her.
Right.
Then Melody tells you how she feels about it. And then we see you actively the next season going around telling everybody about the conversation that you and Melody had in regards to the reason why y'all might not be where y'all should be. And then even though you act like you don't know, like, oh, I don't know why we're like this, but she did say that you're her op and she don't like you and this and that. And it was just like,
Right.
make your mind up. Do you
Right.
want to be the girlfriend or you not want to be the girlfriend? It's just, to me, it's a collective of people who really like this person, who wants to be her friend, but they are not where they need to be for themselves to be able to be in the presence of someone like her. Like, when you
Right.
have a lot of issues with yourself and you have like an issue with self-image or where you are in life and you feel some type of way, it's going to be hard to be around someone who looks like they're getting all their dreams to come true, right?
Right.
And then this person is younger than you and they're accomplishing these things. So it's like a love-hate relationship with Melody, because if Melody was such an evil person like they all try to say, they wouldn't be trying to press her so hard to try to record with them. They wouldn't be trying to press her so hard to try to force her back into the friendship dynamic. They're odd people. There's something wrong with them. And I know that you got other people, so I'm not trying to stay up here too long.
Okay.
That's not trying to rush through it because I know that there's
Okay.
probably
No worries. No worries. Go ahead.
Martel is jealous of Melody, and he has always been jealous of Melody. And Melody has been protected by God for a very long time, as far as it goes with him, because I think that his first approach is, of course, she's beautiful. She's got a lot going for herself. She probably put more into him than any other woman ever did before. You know what I'm saying? In the effort of, hey, I'm going to make you somebody. I'm going to do something for him. I'm so sorry. And then I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave, okay?
Okay.
When the reunion situation happened and Carlos was trying to make it seem like, no, when he was with Dustin, and he tried to make it seem like Martel has people that doesn't tell him like the truth, and they pump up his little things that he does and make it seem like it was so much greater than what it really was. When he was talking about Martel bringing her to auditions and driving her to Atlanta, something she does, like it seems like every week. He was like, he's such a good man. And Dustin had to rewind and remind him, like, Melody was the one who held the builder's license. He was the CEO of the business. She was the one who sacrificed more. If you think about it, think about this. She was 22 years old, got married to him, went into a business that he wanted to specialize in. Melody was the one that wanted to be an actress and do all this other stuff.
Him down.
Exactly.
His babies. Yes, girl.
And then you're trying to make it seem like he did some, if anything. This is how I know that people are sometimes like really worshipers of the male sex, because if anything, how can you say you really built her up when she was constantly trying to find her space, when you were making her doubt herself by stepping out in the household, taken from the household, questioning her role and how good that role was? How are you building that person and molding them into this great human being that they are, which they happen to flourish after the fact of y'all being divorced? It wasn't while y'all was together. She was on, the track, like on a roller coaster, but it didn't take off until she was released from you. So how were you helping her as a person when you were constantly tearing her down?
Because he needs to be responsible for her light. That's why. And that's the whole thing. When you go back and you even watch the way Tisha and Kimmy in that first, when they had the massages at Mel's house, and they were like, you're bougie. Like they're really going out of their way to try to insult her. Like they need to bring her down a peg or two. If you paid attention when Tisha was like, you came to my wedding renewal or vow renewal in Mexico, and that was the first time you ever went out of the country. Like some of the things they were holding on to make her feel like she was here. And I'm like, she's not there anymore. So what? That was the first time she went out of the country.
Amen.
It doesn't matter. What are you talking about? And you are two grown-ass women who are literally trying to keep her in this box. It's that. And that is what's disgusting. It is.
One more thing. I'll say one more thing. When Destiny was trying to make a comment about her leasing or renting, do you know how much it would be to even lease a house that's that big? Do you know how much the utilities are? She was helping Martel. And mind you, were they fully divorced when she really got that contract for their house before that? Right. I don't even think they were divorced all the way. So it doesn't even make sense with the timeline that she's providing in regards to where Melody was at financially. She's just trying to make it seem like she did something equal to what Melody done. And for the credit situation, what is it for you to put your name down for something and I put the money down to pay for it? Thank you for letting me use your name. That doesn't mean that I owe you $6,000 and you don't owe me nothing back for it.
Thank you.
Delusional. But thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming up and talking to us. This is Being Real. I know that her name is not up here, but Being Real is the person who is up, and you had excellent commentary. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience and letting me be on your panel.
Come back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. I want to thank Miss Joyce Harrison for the super chat. Thank you so much. Let's see. I want to get to everyone back here. So I told someone that I would get them up because they said that they had something else going on. So I'm going to bring up Gloria. Hi, Miss Gloria.
Hey, Miss Diana. How are you?
I'm good. So if you don't mind, I wanted to just clarify something. Someone sent me a video of the beard commercial. And I have it on good authority, okay? The beard video is old, you guys. They said that he did that before he went into Destiny's shop. Y'all remember the contract that he had with the
yes.
So apparently he did that video for those beauty supplies. And so that is an old video. He would have done it before Richie Sky did his commercial for Melody. Just an FYI. But it's circulating around there and it looks funny. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. What would you like to share about everything?
Well, I just wanted to say, you were saying that they was having trouble on the cast. Martel, what I think is his last maybe draw is to bring Coleslaw on the show. And is to destroy everybody. She knows everything. And at this point, he does not care. And that's why they're having a problem because the Scots don't want her up there because they know what she know. And she's going to eventually tell it.
The show will literally fail if that happens.
hmm
And
And that's probably why Carlos says she's too disrespectful and she will never get on the show. But that's not the truth. It's because the Scots know what Coleslaw know, and she's going to tell it. And that's the only reason Martell want her up there is to destroy everybody on that show. He don't care no more. And as far as Dusty, Musty, or whatever they was calling her last night, she's irrelevant. I hope Mel don't even respond to her. She doesn't need it. She
she
does
doesn't
not
have
deserve.
to. She's sealing her own a nice little nail around her own coffin. She doesn't have to say anything. Like I said,
And
you
I
can't
was
say
looking, and I
someone.
was like, why she going on all these interviews lately? What I mean, what's up with that?
Well, looks like it's to get back at Melody, but like I said, you can't tell someone because we've never heard this story before. It's always been, you know, Melody told everyone she gave me money. Melody, you told everyone Mel gave you money. She said,
hmm
help Destiny. If I wasn't a friend, then would a friend help do this? You were the one who gave all the details about the money. You did it first. But when you go out and you tell people, hey, Mel stood beside me when this incident happened with my son, and she never left my side, you're telling on yourself at this point.
Absolutely, and I think that her brother and everybody's telling her, that girl, she doesn't deserve a response. She got some issues going on. Nobody's paying her any attention. She's just like Wanda. Bless them, bless both of them. But they they don't need to be back on the show. Go ahead on and get your 9 to 5 and call it a day. Be done with it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Stephanie
but
said,
thank
oh,
you for letting me come on, and you have a good night. I'll be down for a little while, but thank you.
I appreciate you, Gloria. Thank you.
Good
Stephanie
night.
said, good night. Melody knows a lot, but she doesn't want to bring Martel all the way down because of the children. It's time for her to take the gloves off. And I will say this, Melody really does know a lot. And it's always amazing to see like what happened on the reunion stage when she was like, I can't tell you guys about the money part. What I can say is it was my mama who helped, get this business afloat. And it was my referrals. It was my contacts that helped you do XYZ. The fact that she never said that before, you know what I'm saying? And for all of the punching that they were doing, the fact that she never said that before, and how quickly Marceau broke down. Oh, that's true. I want to thank Melody. You should have been thanked Melody, and you should have kept her mother's name out of your mouth. Let's see what else. Let's bring up Clicks and Views. Hey, Miss Clicks and Views.
Hey, hi. I made it. Can
You
you hear
made
me?
it. I can hear you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you guys in the back still, and I'm going to bring you up as quickly as I can, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Nope, you go ahead and talk. You let me know what you think about all.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, first of all, I do want to give you your roses.
Oh, thank you.
And I think you have excellent content. And I gravitate towards content creators who they review shows, but there's a level of intellect with their commentary. And I love that, And I want to say that's kind of why I gravitated towards, the other guy, FD. I'm just gonna keep it like that. But I've since unsubscribed because he went too far for me. And not just with that, it's been kind of ongoing for the last year or so since he been over there on that other platform. I'm like, I'm done with this guy. So nevertheless, I just wanted to first say that. And one thing else, do you read books for like a living? Because your voice is so soothing.
No, someone me that. And I have not. I actually looked it up to see what it takes, but I do not read books. Maybe I can loan myself out to one.
Yeah, that's a nice little side hustle because you got that voice. I can sit and listen to you all day. So,
Oh, that is sweet. Thank
okay,
you.
y'all. Roses, roses, roses thrown. So now here come the mess. So I just want to kind of talk about Miss Destiny and let her tell us she's from my hometown. I'm from Detroit. She
Okay.
need to come on back home and open up a beauty supply store in one of these strips and call it a day, But anyway, I seen the interview she did with what's his name? I can't think of his name. The
Richie,
one where I'm sorry.
Richie Scott Anthony.
Not Richie Sky, but the other guy, the one that she felt like she was being interrogated.
Anthony.
Yes, Anthony. Yes.
Mhm.
So I seen that, and yes, she was on the fence because he put her on the hot seat, with his questions, and that's to be expected because of
Let me
how
ask you
she's.
a question. Maybe I
Yeah.
was looking at it from a blogger's perspective. So for me,
Mhm.
it felt like, oh, okay, this was a cool way to get her to engage and answer the question. Did you look at it and think, "Ooh, this is bad"? Did you feel like it was wrong to do it that?
I think he was hitting the points that most people wanted her to talk about, and he was hitting them hard. So, and it wasn't inviting, just on the outside looking in. So I understand her kind of being on the defense because they were hard questions. It's kind and it's questions that she, I think, don't really want to be fully transparent in, so she had to be defensive, right?
Mhm.
Now, for the recent interview with the other couple, I think she was a little bit more at ease because, number one, their channel, we all know that they're not fans of Mel.
Mhm.
I've went back and forth with them on a couple things too. So we all know that channel favors everybody else except for Mel.
Mhm.
So she knows she was going into a comfortable space with them, and she opened up. And I think they inadvertently got more out of her than any other interview I've seen her do,
Okay.
because she was more relaxed, because she opened up about her son.
Did
And but she also, again, just gave us crumbs. Like, what happened? You give us this devastating story, and then you give us crumbs about what happened. Did the daddy do something?
And you know what? Thank you, clicks and views, because I remember when she came on with her life coach, and the life coach was like, her son came home with an injury. And I was like, oh my God, like she was talking about how she was still in court.
Mhm.
And then again, she gives us this big story,
Right.
and she'll change it and say, custody was already decided. I don't know why you guys keep saying that. And it's like, because you said it. Like, what do
Right.
you want us to infer? Like, you're literally saying things.
And you want us to fill in the blanks, So when people are left to fill in the blanks, they're going to be different narratives, different perspectives. And then now what do you have? You feel like you're attacked because we created our own story based on what you said. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to win that way, Miss Destiny, if she ever sees this, right? And and she also talked about being, what did she say? She said she's being loyal to a fault
Mhm.
by not revealing what Mel did, because she said if you don't want me to be friends with Martel, then you don't want me to be friends with you because you did the same thing.
And she said that so many times. That's
Yes,
also disgusting, because
yes,
your problem was never, again, it shouldn't have been with Mel, but the way you put your ex-husband out there, you're loyal to a fault to Melody because of what? If Melody needed to step away from this friendship because she had to figure out what was true and what was false, then you should have let her do it. Period. You
Right.
should let her do it.
Right.
And
And
Mhm.
even in that statement, she's kind of insinuating that Mel also cheated. Mel also got pregnant by somebody else, and everything that Mel did by the time Destiny came into her life is when she had tapped out of that marriage.
And more
She was
important,
already gone.
Destiny is garbage for actually saying it. She's garbage. That has nothing to do with her. That had to do
Mhm.
with Melody and Martel. If it had to do with anybody, that's it. The fact that
Yeah.
Destiny is so hell bent on dragging Melody, trying to ruin her reputation and her character because she doesn't have the fans Melody has, because she doesn't have the
Right.
money she has, shows you what type of person she actually is.
Yes. Yes. And as far as I'm concerned, whatever Melody did after finding out her husband cheated, after the baby, I don't care. She did whatever she has the right to do whatever she wanted to do after finding out all her husband cheated for almost 5, 6, 7 years. Not to mention getting that girl pregnant 3 times,
I can
at
tell
least 2
you
times.
this, and I will never take it back. Not one person on that show, male or female, could go through what Melody went through and
Mhm.
still be standing.
Yes.
None of them
And
have what it takes. Not one.
there it is. And that's why I ride for Melanie, because she didn't become a victim. And I like that she came out of that. She was hurt, she cried, she went through her storm, but she didn't become a victim of that. She
Mm-mm.
persevered through that. And that's the qualities I like in a person. And that's why if I'm a millimeter, if that qualifies you for being a millimeter, then so be it. I'm a millimeter, right? So I'm gonna say a couple more things, and I leave, I go, because I know you got people waiting. I think with just to keep on Destiny, I think she is just trying to fit in wherever she can fit in at. I don't think she ever really was Martel's friend. I think they ran in the same circles, and that's how she knew them. Because if you listen to what she said on how she got introduced to the show, she said she went to the event of the hosts. She never said I was going to support my homeboy Martel or anything of that. What
And when,
Martel say of that nature?
and when she went to the event for the Holtz, I'm pretty certain it was her ex-husband who was
Yeah,
invited, and she
yeah.
was
There you
the
go.
plus one.
There you go. And one more. This is my last thing. And then she wanted those stones. Well, and I guess this is another crumb drop for her about how codependent her ex-husband was with his mother. So I guess she wanted to say he was a mama's boy, so to speak. And my thing is, what I want to see is Mama Chicken Man come on the scene and defend herself. Where's Mama Chicken Man? So all the other mamas coming out. Why she don't come out? But anyway, I just think that again, dropping crumbs and letting us fill in the blanks, and that's not how you're not going to garner a fan base that's going to be supportive of you when you maneuver that way,
You're right.
so
You're right.
um I love your content. I know is people waiting. I've been waiting for a minute, so I know how that is. And continue to do what you do, and I will continue to support.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Come
You're
back.
welcome. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y'all just keep coming into the room, so we'll get through to you as quickly as possible. Hey, Miss Hannah.
Hey, Diana and guest, how y'all doing?
How are you?
I'm doing well. I
Good.
just wanted to speak. All of the comments are really good, but I listened to part of Destiny's interview yesterday with a blogger.
Okay.
And it seemed like Destiny reached out to the blogger.
The female blogger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And after the interview, Destiny did not take any questions, but the blogger did. So there was a lady who made some really good points about, basically she was saying that Melody did not start this thing about Letitia and Marceau and all of the, the cheating allegations. That was Martel. Martel. So and then after the lady, she made really good points. And I got it. The blogger, it seemed like she didn't really understand. Maybe she didn't see the entire scene, but I was trying to explain to her that Letitia was the one that asked Melody, is it true about the 20 women? Right. Melody said she never even came to Letitia about her husband or anything.
Right.
Letitia came to her and asked her at that brunch, is it true? And then Melody said,
yeah, I think she said something like, your husband was lying. And she said, how do you know it's a lie?
How do you know it's a lie? Melody said, if I tell you, you're not going to believe me anyway. I'm out for yourself.
I'm out for yourself. 100% facts. And she's right. We are already at odds. If I told you something like that, you wouldn't believe me anyway.
And then they got into the discussion and it got a little heated. And Melody told her at 2 or 3, when your husband is out to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, drive up to the bar, put them kids, a babysitter or whatever she said, and drive up to the bar and, check it out. So I think people misunderstood the entire scene and they put it on Melody. So here's the narrative now. Melody's mission is to destroy Tisha's marriage. Funky Dineva said it last week. And don't you know this blogger said it yesterday? And
child, goodbye. Well,
go on.
Oh, at this point, I almost want to send a note, but I'll figure something out. They have to get off of this Melody tried to destroy Tisha's marriage crap. It is the worst. It is the worst. And she's carried this since season 1. I am really interested in seeing what she presents in the next season, because literally it's ending with you and Kiki. And from what Carlos said, I think it's about her and Kiki mending the friendship, or their sisterhood. But is it mending their sisterhood over Marceau cheating? This is what we're doing now?
But the blogger, okay, and this is so, because I don't go on to a lot of the YouTubers that don't like Melody, so I wasn't used to this. This lady actually said, this is the problem with the people that support Melody. It's basically like she was saying, you all don't get it. This woman's mission was to ruin this woman's marriage. And I'm thinking, are we in the same realm of reality? Obviously not, because if you're saying that her mission is to ruin this woman's marriage, and people are telling you that it was Martel that started the whole conversation, Melody never bought this. Well, later on, but she wasn't the one that started the conversation about Marceau cheating. Then when Letitia went below the belt, then she said, well, that's why your husband bought this lady a BMW. Okay, what is Melody? And I asked the lady, what is, if Tisha asked me, is it true? What was Melody supposed to tell this girl? What if you're sitting at the table, what would you tell her? Yes, your husband cheating and I got evidence. No, she told her to find out for herself. That was the correct answer to me, because who at that, unless you're just trying to run somebody's marriage. Now then she says, okay, well, why did she try to bring Alonda on the show? And I tried to explain, look, this girl has been going around for episode after episode, right? Saying that this girl tried to destroy my marriage. Okay, so now you are attacking my character. So if you're attacking my character and lying and saying I'm trying to destroy your marriage based upon a lie that your husband wasn't cheating, what better way for me to prove that I'm not lying than to go get the girl who had the affair with the guy for 4 years.
Facts.
But the girl didn't come on. She said, and then Letitia basically said, the girl said, if the money was right, I would have came on to the show. Well, what about, what were you going to say when you came on the show? No, it wasn't true. Or yes, it was true.
Is that not the oddest thing you've ever heard for someone to say, I want to clear my name. I have no desire to be a part of this. I want to clear my name. I never said this. However, if the money was right, I would have come onto the show and said it. Get out of town. Even that would be a problem for me. That's not even funny as a joke. If you're saying that this woman is telling you she needs to clear her name, she would never do this. And then, in the next breath say, well, if they paid me enough, I would have done it.
But both of them are lying, because if you looked at the interview that she had with Marcel and Letitia, she said, yes, if the money was right, if they offered me a little more, I would. Then she turned, she said, well, I'm just kidding, because my mama raised me better than that. I would never do that. So am I missing something?
You're not. When I heard it, I thought that's not how you prove that you didn't do something. That's not how you prove it at all.
And you don't even have to come on the show if you decide that you didn't want to. It's something, okay, you could put it on your Instagram post. I never mess with Marcel. This was a lie. You don't have to come on the show and get some money for it. And then they try to pretend. And see, Carlos got caught in a lie too, because he knows that Melody told him the information, because he didn't just say that Melody had the information. He said Melody and Martel had the information about the lady, but they always just want to blame Mel. And this narrative that this woman tried to destroy her marriage is just crazy and is out of pocket. And what is she supposed to do? Just let y'all run with this narrative without just saying something about what's going on? And whether you believe it or not, then at least she tried to defend herself.
And like she said, it happened years ago. She didn't know he was married, whatever. The fact that Tisha's going to sit up there and say 16 years later, well, if I found out now that this actually happened, then I would still leave my marriage because it's how did she put it?
That they would have to work through it or something. I can't remember exactly what she said.
I would probably still, because that's a deal breaker for me. And I just remember sitting there thinking, that's not true. Like you have to be like in the right minds at some point, Tisha. 16 years of marriage, you find out something that happened how many years ago? 15 years ago?
14, however many. And but the bottom line also is that, I don't know if she found out anything more about that picture that she found in his. I'm telling you, I don't go through nobody's phone. I hate to even go through my own phone. So why is she looking through her husband's phone to find out information? So that lets you know something was out of pocket right then and there.
We didn't find out the why though, right?
Right.
We found out that she found it and that she had to call her cousin to also investigate it with her, right?
Mm-hmm. And I don't believe Kiki when she said that Tisha. It doesn't even make no sense when Carlos said, has Letitia ever said that Marcel was cheating on her? She said no. What's the picture all about? Maybe I'm missing something. The picture means that she thought that he was cheating because she found and then if he gave her that lame excuse that he interviewed this lady and she sent him a picture, that should have automatically set up alarms in our head. Said, what idiot, what they call him, pervert, would give a lady his phone number that he's supervising? Personal, I could see your business phone, but this seemed to be his personal phone. Well, I don't know all that, but I'm just saying. Anyway, it would have just sent me into a hole. She told me she did her research, girl. You didn't do a deep enough dive into that.
Because you find out your husband is interviewing someone and he is getting those kind of pictures, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. It ain't the first time, and if he was comfortable enough to like it and comment, that's a problem. And I didn't like how after she was doing all this defensive, it never happened, I have no reason. He said, well, I get those pictures all the time. I get those all the time now.
in his DM, but this is your personal phone. That means you gave this woman your number. And then not only that, you know, from what I've heard, and I don't know how true it is, he got fired from a job because he was inappropriate with women on the job. So I'm pretty sure y'all heard that as well. But I'm
did not know that.
yeah, they said that's why he got fired from the movie theater, is because he was having inappropriate, fraternization. If you're a supervisor, it's kind of like this TJ Holmes thing.
Yeah, a very, very flirty personality. Thank you, Cookie, from the Shy for the super sticker. It's a very flirty personality.
Right. And the last thing I want to wrap this up with, going back to the lady that made the comment that Melody's mission was to run Letitia's marriage. That girl got too much more to do than to talk about. And she hasn't really been even bringing Letitia up. It's been Carlos and all these other people and Letitia. And so she said to me, no weapon formed shall prosper, meaning that Melody tried to form a weapon against this woman and it didn't prosper. Well, wait a minute now. What I didn't have this proverb yesterday, but what I hope she's listening, and anyone that tried to make Melody out to be the bad person, I want to leave them with this. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. They that put darkness light and light darkness, that put bitter sweet and sweet for bitter. And this is what we're seeing time after time after time when it comes to Melody. And thank you for letting me share. Have a great day now.
Hannah. Bye-bye. Okay. I have... Oops, I'm sorry about that. Drop the mic. You're next, okay? I meant to bring up Truth. I'm bringing you guys up in order. So, hey, Truth, how are you?
Hey, DyanaRozay. I love you so much. I love your channel.
Thank you. This is your first time up?
I believe so. I believe it's my first time up on your platform.
Okay. Thank you for coming up. I got 3 people waiting in the back, so I'm going to take the last 3. And then we will close it out, but I'll let you go. What do you think about everything?
Oh, wow. Everybody that went before me said a lot of good points. So since Hannah just got off, I just want to pick up and piggyback on something that she mentioned. Okay. Now, when she completely broke the whole thing down about the whole how everything unfolded with Tisha and Melody at the cafe, and how, the only thing that Mel said was, how do you know it's not true? And Tisha blew that up season after season to make everyone believe, and she made herself believe that Melody was trying to destroy our marriage. Right. Now, if we take it back to the interview with Marceau Tisha that they had with Alonda, if you notice, I'm sure you have, because I've listened to your commentary and others that are critical thinkers like yourself. Now, Alonda, what she said was, I would never knowingly mess with a married man. Yeah. Like, she never said, no, I didn't, like towards the end, after, the conversation, Tisha was kind of skating and playing around it, because Tisha was really scared of what she could have possibly said, Right. And then
they both were.
Marceau was nervous too. And then if you notice at the end, Marceau did that little hand gesture with his fingers, like, I'm gonna call you, like, and that's another form of disrespect in a serious moment. So I just want to touch on that part with what Hannah just said, since she just got off. Yeah. Now I'm gonna move on to Destiny. Yeah. Destiny, in my opinion, she's suffering from severe childhood trauma and abandonment issues. And she's fueling her hatred and resentment towards Mel because Mel cut her off. So in her eyes and in her soul, it feels like Mel abandoned her. Now, if we go back to Destiny's interview, where Destiny broke it down, how my mom was on drugs, she's still battling, my dad, fought for full custody of me, but in the meantime, she was with her grandma, probably, from family member to family member, until her dad was able to legally get custody of her. So with all that she had gone through, she dealt with trauma. She never had that relationship that she wanted to have with her mom.
Right.
Hence why, go back to Melody's video shoot party when Destiny chose that time to sit down and pour her heart out to Mel, like, I want to be your village. I want you to be my village. Like that wasn't the time and the place for that. But she saw Melody light, and she wanted to be a part of Melody's world. But Melody has the gift of discernment as well. So Melody was picking up on those unhealthy traits that Destiny had early on. She was just trying to give Destiny the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Now let's go to, I know I got it all. I'm trying to get it out because I know you got people waiting. But for Destiny, the Scotts 2.0, 1.0, Stormy, none of those people were truly Mel's friend. They all were jealous of Mel from the beginning, because I've watched the show since season 1, and Mel was always the boss. She was always the boss with the sauce, and it was always, issues with her. So for Destiny to come out now, last week, and drop those nuggets about Mel with her car, and she had to. Another caller said she ain't physically paid for it. She just used her credit. I agree with that caller as well. But she tried to portray it like, again, to assassinate Mel's character. So for her to come out now and try to assassinate Mel's character when she supposedly had all this time, why didn't she say all that when Mel first said something about the money? And again,
no sense.
Right.
Sense.
Right.
And again, I was like, this is so calculated.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm going somewhere with this, Diana. I'm going somewhere.
Go
now
ahead.
So for Destiny to do that, she only further proves why Mel was led by God to cut her off completely, because God had revealed Destiny to Mel early on, and the more stuff Destiny do, like the venom that she's spitting and spilling. So now here's the breakdown. Maurice came out with the ignorance, talking about the Funky Dineva Awards. Ironically, he named it Funky Dineva Awards. And then he named all the YouTubers who go hard for Mel. Okay. So that's how he proved that they had already plotted, had meetings on how to destroy Mel with her strong support system in the YouTube world. Right. Like the way her YouTube supporters, like you content creators that really go hard for her, because y'all realistic critical thinkers and y'all see through the mess. So that proved that they was trying to assassinate her character and attack her through YouTube. Then Funky Dineva come out after being, in my opinion, paid and orchestrated, and convinced to do so. Then Martel come out with his interview, still saying the same nonsense. And now Wanda is being threatened and trying to put it off on the Melody meters, and then Destiny. So they all in conjunction with each other. They all,
And let's not forget, even I've never seen anyone support Destiny's craziness in the comment section of social media. Now there is tons of people over there making it seem like Destiny's a victim of something.
Exactly. And that's all orchestrated. That's all part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you remember, Diana, remember when Destiny went live and she was crying, she was having a midnight breakdown, and remember she kept on saying, I went through a custody battle too. Like, where's the support from me? Like, she was crying and all. Yep, she was crying.
Courtroom with the same judge.
Exactly. So that part, I'm gonna leave that part there. Now, Kimmy, I think that Kimmy and Mel would be friends if Kimmy was not married to Maurice Scott. I think that Kimmy, and I'm serious, because Kimmy is the most logical thinking one out of the whole group of cast members. Now, but of course they got this whole strong pact with riding together as Scots, and so therefore she rolled with the nonsense. But if you think about it, Kimmy not built like them, just like Mel not built like them. Stormy, Tisha, Wanda, Stormy Mama, and what's Destiny? They all real rough and tough around the edges.
Yeah.
That Mel not built like that. So they saw her as this soft, they can push up her. Now Mel punching back, and they don't like it. And then I'm gonna go to, because I wrote it down because I've been waiting. I'm gonna go to Martel. One of the other callers said Martel loves Mel. Martel doesn't love Mel. Mel was Martel's trophy wife. She made him look successful and look accomplished. He need a woman like Mel, but he desire a woman like AC. Hence, why he in his last interview, he was like, I was in love with both of them. I can't tell you what was happening to me over there. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy. And I do believe that Mel really needs to separate herself from the show. I hear rumors that she's waiting to be syndicated and so she can continue to get paid off of it. I don't know if that's true, but maybe when she leave the show, let's see what they're going to talk about, because we all have seen season after season, episode after episode, if Tisha ain't bringing up Mel's name with Destiny bringing up her name, or Tiffany Whitlow bringing up her name, or Storm, somebody bringing up her name, and she not doing the same thing to those other people. So of course I have a lot more, but I know you got people waiting. Thank you so much.
You said plenty. You said plenty. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, now I'm bringing up Drop the Mic. Hey, Drop the Mic.
Hey, Dyana. How are you tonight?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, chat. Lord. So I'm going to be as quick as possible. I just want to say that every person that called up here had a really, 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 really good assessment of their part of the show, of what they were thinking about. Like, I don't have anything else to say, but the last lady, I wanted to piggyback off of what she said. And what I think is she's 1000% correct. And it was an orchestrated attack. And the problem is that Carlos came down there and he came down on them through and basically they can't do the bull crap that they were doing before on the show. A, because it was too obvious. B, they look like idiots. So he's like, look, y'all are gonna have to lean into your own characters, your own storylines. So they sat down as a weirdo family and they came up with this plot, and one by one they have laid out their plan of attack. They still look like idiots because we're too smart and we can see through it. But I believe that that's why, she's 100% correct, that social media is where they said, okay, so we're going to have to attack her another way. Plus and they also realized that, dang, Mel is getting paid, and Mel built her fan base up on social media.
Uh-oh. Are you here?
Can you hear?
Okay. Yeah, you said Mel built her fan base on social media and then you went out.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Yes, Mel built her fan base up on social media. So that's why because we've sat and watched how they've attacked her season after season after season after season. So that was what I wanted to say about that. I had one more thing, and that was, I think with Destiny, I think that there's twofold. Y'all know how, like, people were saying that for whatever reason, people can't figure out why these people had this homage to Martel. If you really think about it, he's the one that'll bust anybody out. He's the one that came up with the 20 women. He's the one that it busts out.
He'll entire time on the reunion stage, even though they were still attacking Melody. He was the one who was making jokes and still poking, like, yeah, y'all all still doing stuff.
He was laughing, and and here's the thing. Letitia wasn't getting mad at him. She was throwing smart that I'm the one. Because he asked her, oh, so is that why he really went to Africa? So he was poking. But you don't see them getting mad at him, right?
No, they don't.
So what they know is that Martel is dangerous. And Martel, whenever he feels like he's under the fire, that he will throw you under the bus and he will tell your deepest, darkest secret. He don't care because he did it to Melnika. I don't know if y'all remember, but he bust Melnika out on national television. She was sitting up there having a scene with him saying, because I ain't never and we ain't never. He said, yeah, you're right. Since high school.
High school. I literally posted, I did that on my community page. That went left quick. She really was trying to be like,
She was shocked. I think she was, and you ain't seen Melnika since. Somebody put it in the comments and it got me to thinking. And guess who else I think has the same type of relationship and why she going so hard? Destiny.
And you know what she said today? If Martel and I did anything, he'd be the first to bust me out. And I was like, he might still bust you out.
Exactly.
That you've told him something that's going to keep him at bay. But sis, the way you're too defensive about this friendship. You're too defensive about this friendship. And
she is. She didn't even want to admit that he was really dating what's her name?
I know.
It was almost like she had like a little jealousy bug. Like, did you see that? Did you catch that?
I did.
Because I caught that. I was like, oh, you don't want it. She was like, I mean, we hang out this and the third and the fourth. No, it sounds good. Destiny, if you was with Martel at Sheree's house, Sheree don't give two whats about Martel. This is off of publicity. You was up there and y'all was probably getting it in while your girl was sitting somewhere looking dumb. Because Martel is sneaky like that. And I think that she knows Martel. All of them, every single person up on that stage besides Melody, they all know he will bust them out one by one. So they know they got to really keep Martel close because he don't care. He was, like you said, he was doing an R reunion. So.
And Destiny even had the nerve, and this is how you know that she's not conscious. When Martha was like, are you inviting Melody to whatever her event was, or when he was talking about me and Melody are cool, she was broken. Her face just was like rolling her eyes, acting crazy.
She was tight. Yeah. It's like she can't even hide it. So I'm like, there's no way you're not that good of friends with him that quick after you was just almost besties and y'all was sister girls when y'all was going through y'all divorces together with his wife. There's no way you're not that close to him. And when Tay Talks brung it up, if you pay attention to when they were in Vegas, go back and look at that Vegas episode when they're all sitting at the table and Maurice or either Marcel, I can't remember which one, but they ask him, have you talked to Destiny? And you see Martel's face and he does the same dumb things that he was doing up on the stage. And he was like, I mean, yeah, but they gave each other a look and he asked him in a way like, you talked to Destiny? So yeah, they got something going on. And she could tell, she's like, I don't know why people say that, girl, because we're women with intuition. And you could tell when a woman is in a room with somebody that they're sleeping with. Y'all ain't just friends. I don't care what nobody say.
Y'all done
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. But y'all act guilty, even on the stage. What? This Martel? Yes, you. Who does that? How old are you?
Exactly. I mean, he even had the dumb little kitty 6-year-old. I got my hand caught in the cookie jar. Look, that's why Mel was like, "Yep," and she just looked at Carlos and started smiling. Like, you see the bull crap I got to deal with. I mean, this is like literally. And that's another thing. Why would you be so upset about her tapping, quote unquote, his phone? Why do you know so much about this phone tapping? He ain't even coming out and talking about it. But every time you do an interview, you're making excuses and talking about this phone tapping like it was your phone, because it's almost like you're talking about your man.
Yep. All of a sudden, she's Martel's protector. In the same way that Melody was Martel's protector in the relationship.
Yep. There you go.
That is what is frightening. Like, she doesn't see that she pulled into this role.
She's a flying monkey.
She's a flying monkey.
She's a flying monkey. That's what they call the narcissist person that does their dirty deeds and does their dirty work. The flying monkey.
Yep. I was like, Lisa knows how to sit back, Kimmy knew how to sit back. You, on the other hand, you're all over the place trying to take care. And you only came up on stage, and it's all been about you protecting Martel.
The whole time. It's disturbing almost, and it's crazy because she don't see it, but anybody with eyes can see it. Like, I went back after when Tay Talk says that, and I said, oh my, it's right there. Have you talked to Destiny? And I was like, wait, what? There it was, right there in live and in living in 4K.
And the guys love to poke at each other in those kind of ways. Like, I'm gonna say it and see if he trips up or whatever.
Exactly. And you could see it because it was written up, like, because they talk with their eyes and they make smirks and they, of course they try to play it off, but they're so dumb. They don't realize that we can see right through them. Like, oh my God. I was like, it's right there. It's right in front of our face. And then this all goes down. And this is why you instantly got this total disdain for Melody that you can't even explain. And the explanations you give make no sense for how much you hate this girl.
Facts. Everything you said.
So,
yes, ma'am.
That's all I have. So I know I'll let you bring up the next person.
Okay.
Thank you, Dyana. I love your platform. And again, I watch you all the time.
Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. I have Jean Lawson. Hey, Miss Jean.
Hi, is everyone?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I like your commentary. I've been following you now for like maybe 3 months, I believe.
I appreciate you.
I'm just gonna drop a few little nuggets with everyone. I'm gonna piggyback off what Miss Hannah said, the lady that did the interview. But she's on now doing another interview.
Oh, okay.
And when I tell you, she doesn't have her comments on. When I tell you that Destiny has manipulated this lady.
Oh.
I can tell that the lady hasn't seen the whole full show because she's only doing her commentary on the reunion. She's calling Destiny. She's calling. Wolves coming to pack. So I guess since Funky Dineva couldn't do it, she's doing it. And when I tell you she has bashed Carlos, she has bashed everybody. She's on Tisha. She's using profanity. Now, this is her platform. I mean, she's nothing like she was earlier. She is horrible. She's calling Mel a lie. She's doing everything. And I was like, oh my God, but she didn't have her comments on. She's on now live, the same lady. I don't want to say the blogger's name, but Miss Hannah knows. And it's horrible. She said, yeah, she made a comment that they all should sue. I'm so upset. I'm sorry. She made a comment that they all should sue Melanie for definition of character. She said all that. She said Carlos needs to leave. So from my observation on her, I'm thinking she wants to be a whatever Carlos does. I'm thinking she's trying to move to that level, but she talked about Carlos so bad and Melanie so bad. Honestly, I don't think that Destiny's going to have a job if she has one now. She messed Destiny up trying to help Destiny.
Wow.
Because she's on now. You all go. She's on live. She talked about the cast members so bad and talked about Carlos so bad. I don't think Carlos is going to put up with that. But she's getting her information from Destiny.
Wow.
And she only looked at the reunion.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
Watch this.
You have to. And I'm going to let you all go so you all can see it. It's horrible. I didn't look at all of it. Yeah, I didn't look at all of it because I'm like, oh, she didn't have her comments on. And I subscribed to her earlier, but I got to go back and unsubscribe.
So she interviewed Destiny yesterday, right?
She interviewed Destiny, was it yesterday or today? Or whenever she interviewed Destiny, yes. But she's on now live. Destiny's not on there.
The blogger is now just sharing information. And I want to say, I said this the other day too, that Destiny had interviewed with another blogger and she kind of did something similar where she was saying Melody and Carlos, the blogger said Melody and Carlos are like in a booth doing all of these horrible edits for everyone to make her look like the star of the show. And Destiny was like making these smiley faces. It was like, you get it, right? You get it. Melody should be thanking us for everything we did for her this season. And I was like,
No, it's not. It's not that one. And this one, this was her first time having her first show. Miss Hannah, if Miss Hannah's still on there, she can put it in there. I think that she interviewed her this today live.
oh, okay.
And I was the first one on the panel. Then there was another. It was a lot of people. You could tell a lot of people over there was for Destiny. But my thing is, if they're for Destiny, they didn't look at they. You can tell they hadn't followed the show all the way. They got in on the end or the first. They hadn't followed the show. One of them said Destiny was resilient for holding her composure, or whatever they said. And I was like, oh Lord. But nevertheless, this lady, she has it's horrible. I don't know if it's a lot of snakes. You know how snakes have, and then they have babies. I mean, it's like they're coming out the mail like, and I'm a millimeter. They're coming out the mail like, oh, it's horrible. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is your first, and you going this hard. You know, they'll go hard, but this lady is going hard. I think her name is KIA or something to that effect. And Destiny was her first person. She's got her own panel, but I can't I can't describe enough how she did it. No, it's part first and second season. Okay, I was reading the chat. But she is she's gone. She's letting them have it. So everyone, I'm not telling everyone to give her to go over to her page for but we do need to hear it. Yeah. And
Melody, they've tried, but they can't. At the end of the day, no weapon, okay?
Well, what's funny to me is they read they say the scriptures and they don't quote the scripture all the way. You have to quote the scripture all the way. It's no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rise up against me shall be condemned in the name of Jesus. You have to say the whole scripture. And then the other one, when she said Melanie was a wolf and she, whatever she said, she didn't even quote that scripture right. So they're using God in the wrong content or not quoting the scriptures. Oh, she even said she even said every time Mel get caught in her lies, she was demonstrating Mel, how Mel was doing her hair. She said every time Mel get caught in her lie, then she want to bring up God. Mel was looking all down on the floor. Mel, you was a dang lie. I mean, she was going off on me. Well, I guess she's still on. She is going off on Melanie. And if I was Mel have so much on her plate. This is 10 times worse than fucking Dineva.
At the end of the day, child, it ain't changed a thing. All they do is bring more soldiers into her camp. So it's okay. It's okay. We'll get to see it, but at the end of I don't know how it helps Destiny. So
it's not going to help Destiny. I can almost say for certain it's not going to help Destiny because the lady bashed Carlos so bad. She bashed Carlos. She said that Carlos was taking Melanie's side. And you know how we always fuss and say, Carlos, you're not standing up for Melanie. You're not doing this. But she said Carlos was taking Melanie's side, this, that, and the other. So honestly, she was trying to help Destiny, but I don't believe Destiny's going to have a job after this. If Carlos has anything to do with it, and if he can make the decision, because I put it like this. The interview was very offensive. Toward Carlos and Melanie.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that.
We'll check it out. But thank you, Jean. I'm going to get
through
these last couple of people.
Okay.
But I appreciate you coming up, and I hope you come back.
Just to drop a few gems on everyone. Let them know it's on now. Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Hey, Renata. Hey, Diana. Can you hear me good? I can't hear you. Your sound is muffled.
Okay, let me take the Bluetooth off. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
Get to the settings here.
Okay, so let's see. Looking at the comments, let's see what we got in followers. You guys have been doing a great job. 1,100 of you are. Hit the like button.
Okay. Uh-oh. Let me hit this. Why am I muffling?
Okay, you sound better.
Okay, because I had it on Bluetooth, so while everybody was talking, I was cleaning and doing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you that. Oh, Dyana, first, let me give you your flowers before we get started into this mess. I
Okay.
want to say that I've been watching you. I enjoy you. You are such a classy lady. You are just the way you talk. I had put a comment, I think months ago, and you was talking, and I said, I don't know what type of career you in, but whatever it is, let the Lord use you because you are great at this. You are a person that I could sit there with. You and Queen Sheba, like I could sit there and just, boy, I tell you, and just tell you all my deepest, darkest secrets and trust you with it because I'm a person that I don't tell people, I gotta really trust you to, because same, how people do, they get mad at you like Destiny and then they want to tell your business. So, but I get that when I sense you. And listen, I'm a person, I always ask God to give me a spirit of discernment, and I always had a heavy spirit of discernment. So I can have 20 people over here saying, "Ooh, watch that person, but I can always, for me, I can discern, something different. So I'm not easily swayed when people tell me something. But I just wanted to say that about you. You are wonderful. You are beautiful. And I can't wait till you get your hat line and stuff going so I can get me some hats and earrings and stuff from you.
Thank you.
Yes, and you will be supported. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Chit Chat with QT has broken open the case. She did. Go over there, Dyana, when you get a chance to watch her video she put today. Let me tell you who's the person that brung the first. I want you to guess. Who was the person that brung up the thing about Martel cheating first? I want you to take a guess.
About Martel cheating first?
Yes, because Tisha, because everybody's trying to go back and figure now because since Tisha's running around here with the narrative, Mel is the one trying to break up her marriage and all that.
So everybody's gonna say it was Kimmy, but Melody and Martel.
There you go.
Melody and Martel has already come out and said that they had decided to bring it to the show. They wanted to be truthful. So by the time it got to the others, it looked like it was just filmed that way. So it seemed like it was Kimmy, but they had made a pact not to talk. But Melody and Mart's, because remember they said at the very beginning of the season of the episode of the reunion, it was really important for Marceau to say, we weren't going to tell your business. We were told to tell because you guys had already told. Remember? That was what he said to Melody at the Galentine's event.
Yes.
You broke the pact, basically. You broke the pact. You weren't supposed to tell. You called us and said not to tell. Mel said, I never told any of you not to tell. That
was Martel.
Right. But Melody had made the decision. She was telling. So when the producers come to them, they say, we already know you guys are going to have to talk about this. We already know it.
So then I get what you're saying, Dyana, but even in that case, so you saying when Mel had already told him that she, wasn't going to do the show.
She said, I'm not going to do this show.
So the producers came to them. And so as they're doing a green screen, I guess they were asked about it. And so Kimmy then in turn, well, we heard rumors about this before.
That we already knew. So Melody had made the decision, I'm going to talk about it. Both her and Martel. That's what I recall. That they said they were going to do it.
It makes sense what you're saying too.
The producers went to the rest of the squad who were pretending like we don't know. And they said, listen, you guys have to talk about it. They're talking about this. You're going to have to talk about it.
That makes sense. But then there was another part she did in the video where Martel, and Maurice is sitting around talking. And Maurice, they both say, oh, how's the marriage going? Here go Martel, fine, everything's wonderful, marriage stupendous. And then he said, we don't have no problem. And so they looking at him like, okay, really? And then he said something, Martel said something back to Marcel. Marcel said, well, I don't have no problems in my marriage. And he said, oh, you a liar. So therefore, from season 1, Martel has always been throwing Marceau under the bus. So I'm trying to get where they getting this is from Melody.
It makes no sense. But what the Scott 1 and 2 both did was they were making jokes around their situation.
Right.
They weren't sensitive to it at all. And that's what pissed Martel off when he was like, it ain't like y'all had 20 women because y'all are making jokes about this and this isn't funny.
Right. Dyana, I'm just trying to figure out, Dyana, what is the gain and the goal of Destiny?
Child, we're all trying to figure that out. I don't know. I really don't. I think that at this point, she is just kind of doing what Martel asked her to do.
Because, okay, it's not because it doesn't make sense to me. You get on the show, you with Maurice in the Credit One office, talking about you were almost like you were destitute. I had to take the PPP loan. I'm on public assistance. So you trying to throw out that you put the cars, she had to use your credit. Melody, I don't ever recall Melody ever saying when she came out of the divorce that she came out of there with a whole bunch of money and stuff. I think she always talked about the bankruptcy. She always said that when she came to get the stuff, and AC confirmed this, that he wouldn't let her in the house to get the stuff. She confirmed that.
Right. You're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up.
Okay.
But can you hear me? I can hear you, but you're breaking up. You was breaking up just a little bit. Okay, go ahead.
If I'm okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Am I good?
Nope.
Okay, let me try. Sometimes in my house, this reception is terrible. Let me go back here in my room. What about now? Am I good?
Nope.
Oh, gosh, I'm still bad. Let me go over here. Hold on. Okay, my son is looking at me like I'm crazy running around the house. Dyana, what about now?
No.
Oh, my God. What is... Okay, now. Internet bill is paid. Don't start no mess. What about now, Dyana?
You are still going in and out.
Oh, gosh.
You want me to drop you down and see if you can get a better connection?
Yes, drop me down to see if you can get me up, and then bring the next person, and then I'll come back in.
Okay. Hey, Simply Beautiful.
Hey, Dyana. How are you? I'm good. Look, Destiny. Now, I'm not in real estate, but I'm assuming that there's some type of code of ethics where you can't go around disclosing people's agreements, whether it's rent to buy or the fact that the matter that they have a mortgage or anything. I
don't think Destiny had anything to do with Melody's house. I think that we saw Melody was helping that girl get paid for a scene by saying that she showed her a house. I don't think Destiny had anything to do with it. I know we keep saying that, but she didn't have anything to do with it.
Okay. Because I was sitting here like, if you revealing stuff like that, you better be concerned about the Alabama State of Commissions, because I'm pretty sure there's a code of ethics that you're not supposed to do that. But all right.
I think it was a setup.
I
don't better do it.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like, okay, another season, another smear campaign of Melody. Like, at what point do you realize this is not working? Like, you're basically leaning into Martel's lies about his ex-wife. And the fact of the matter that you don't have an issue with that, and you don't understand why people think there's something going on between you and Martel, is asinine. That's crazy. Like, you're doing, like, you basically took Mel's role in protecting Martel.
I have to say, at the end of the day, we all learn lessons, and she's going to learn the hard way. And it's playing out before like hundreds of thousands of eyes. It is what it is. We just going to have to watch it happen.
Yeah. Even on that stage, when Mel brought up the fact of the matter that she was calling Martel 1 and 5 in the morning, does she realize she kind of gave it away? I mean, if you knew that Mel attempted to hack Martel's phone, why were you so surprised that she knew about the 1 and 5 in the morning calls?
Yeah.
That
And why?
doesn't make any sense if you knew she attempted to hack his phone. And
Right.
what Martel explained was call forwarding. Now, the $1 million question is, why would you forward your calls to your ex-wife? Or why would she want your calls forwarded to her phone and leave her answering machine on if she was hacking your phone?
Right. Right. Agreed. I said the same thing. When she's asked point blank, what were you doing, calling or whatever, ask Sheree. Ain't nobody asking Sheree, they asking you. You was the one who was all gun-ho to tell the business, so answer the question. Sheree is nowhere to be found.
But this is like, Destiny, the fact of the matter that you couldn't even confirm that your homeboy, your friend of 20 plus years, was dating Sheree. Now we got to go ask Sheree. Nobody want to ask Sheree about this fake relationship.
It honestly, I said the same thing. I was like, how many times, literally almost everybody she interviewed with, she said, ask Sheree, ask Sheree. Again, trying to put validity to Martel and Sheree's relationship. Who cares? We've seen Martel out with AC more than we've seen him out with Sheree. Okay.
I mean, we just seen AC on live at his house, but you ain't hear that from me.
Okay. Stop the madness. Exactly.
Yeah.
You
And
trying
the
hard.
whole thing about the car rental, I mean, if this all happened after that bankruptcy, that means you were going through your divorce. Now, if Mel had to give you cash to deal with your attorney fees, I do not believe you was out there paying rental for her to rent cars. I
Right.
believe she didn't have the credit because of the bankruptcy, but she had the cash. You
Right.
had the credit, but you didn't have any cash.
None.
So this whole narrative that she's trying to spin in regards to Mel being broke, I mean, the woman basically said she left a marriage with nothing. So clearly, her and her kids were sleeping on air mattresses. So clearly there was a struggle, but it's not where she was, it's where she's at now. And clearly you're jealous that she's thriving.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, right? And
Yeah.
it's obvious and it's embarrassing.
Yeah. When she was like, oh, you can't bounce back from bankruptcy like that. I said, people bounce back from bankruptcy all the time. What exactly are you talking about?
For sure. For sure. What are you suggesting, that she only, she only lives in this house to take photos and then they head down to the Motel 6? This is her house. This is the
You
house
can clearly see it's her house. And
Right.
I did not have to see paperwork. It was in what she was doing with the house, which was making updates. I said, Mel is definitely in a rent to own agreement. And I understood it's bankruptcy. I understood.
And
It's a viable way to get your home. So I didn't understand her trying to make it like it was a dig to rent to own. I was like, that's a viable way to get a home.
And here's what's funny is that when it came out that Destiny's home was on the market, where you could actually type it into ZELLE and see that it was up for sale,
Mm-hmm.
you know how she handled it? She said, I'm still living in the same house that you guys all said I wasn't living in, by the way. Well, child, you might be, but let's not act like it didn't have a for sale sign in the yard. You know what I'm saying?
I think it still does have that for sale sign. I believe she's living in that house until they find a seller. That's it.
And the fact that she does this, like she'll give you these little bits of the truth when give me a break. How old do you have to be before you stop that?
Yeah. I'm sitting here like, oh, so you're going to do interviews with everybody who doesn't like Mel, except DJ Richie Sky. But I know who Hannah Grace is talking about. That girl, I used to watch her content. She hates Mel. I don't care what she say.
Y'all hit my comments heavy with that girl's name. I don't want her coming over here.
Yeah, I won't say her name, but she doesn't like Mel.
Okay.
Every scene that Mel has on Love and Marriage Huntsville is overanalyzed. She's criticized. She can't breathe right in that girl's eyes. It's kind of disturbing, honestly.
Right. I agree. At the end of the day, people just have to We know that we can't take a whole lot of what Destiny said. In fact, probably none of it.
I don't take anything that girl says. I don't. I think she pulls things from other people's lives. Like after the incident between Mel and Martel and their son. Oh no. So now your son has come home with an unexplained injury. Okay, Destiny.
You remember that?
Yep.
She had her life coach tell that story. You want to share what happened? And now she keeps begging everybody, go look at my divorce decree. For what? Nobody's interested.
No, I'm not interested. And I honestly think you're treading lightly with your ex-husband because you're afraid of what his family might say. Because you already admitted that somebody he knows gave something to another content creator that you tried to say was full of lies, but clearly it wasn't.
Yep, she started off, well, this is a lie. I just came on this. She went from that to, well, it was clearly someone he knows because they knew too much.
Yep. And then you start backpedaling like, oh no, I don't, I just want to co-parent with him. I don't want my son to see anything. Girl, we know.
Right.
We know.
Exactly.
Just like you said on that reunion last year that you couldn't legally speak on him. But then you went on a nightcap and said, oh, but I can legally talk about him on here.
Again, playing with words. I said I wouldn't talk about him on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I didn't say I wouldn't talk about him anywhere else. He didn't know how to leave and cleave. What the hell does that mean?
I mean, if that is the case, you knew he was a mama's boy before you married him.
Alex, what are you saying? What happened?
And another about that dark soul mess. The fact of the matter that she used Mel revealing that she gave her $5,000 to $6,000 as being dark. What do you call screaming out the door to somebody's mother? Stop pimping your daughter. What is that?
That is about as low as you can get, right? So with everything that happened that day, you honestly ran outside after someone to say you pimping their daughter. That was when I was done with Destiny. Period.
Yeah.
I've been done with her for a minute though.
Honestly, I have as well as Tisha. Kimmy is treading on thin ice with me because yes, I want you to get better health-wise, but you being a messy bee does not negate the fact. You having cancer don't negate the fact that you're messy.
She has some mess. Now they got to have a little bit of mess, but if Mel is saying that she is still cool with her, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt.
You know what? I would too, because I do believe that her and Mel would be friends if she wasn't married in the Scott family. And something Kiki said,
even though it took her a little while, I appreciate the fact that when everyone on that stage was talking about, oh, Mel was a problem. She started it with Wanda and Wanda doing all the garbage shit. It took a minute when Carlos was like, I'm shocked that all of you are literally supporting this garbage. And she was like, who's all? I'll do you one better. Everybody here, including my husband, is trying to make it out like it was something she saw on Dr. Heavenly's channel. It wasn't. She said it because that's what she wanted to say, because she's dirty like that. And I've had problems with her and how she's addressed me and my son.
Yep. And for Tisha to sit there talking about, I told my mom she was wrong. But every time you said your mom was wrong, you led with a but. And I truly wanted Mel to say, your mom has done 11 lives about me. She's literally dedicated her YouTube channel to talking about me.
Yes.
But the minute I respond, we're both going back and forth. No, that's your mother.
Both wrong. Exactly. Exactly.
I just hope that Mel focuses on her business. And if they keep coming at her, as she always says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Okay.
It's kind of sick, though, because it's like every week is something. Last week, FD. This week, Destiny's on the smear campaign. And now you said there's rumors about Martel holding up production because he wants that girl on his show. I believe he's always wanted her on his show. And when Carlos put it out there that you email me about everything, but you didn't email me about this situation with your daughter. I
Right.
think that was him getting Martel back in line, like slow your roll before I bust you out completely.
Ooh, child, we'll see. We'll see how this all turns out. I'm looking forward to seeing if they can make changes, but if this is how they're starting,
Yeah, I don't know. And the only thing I'm going to say is for anybody to think that Carlos is on Mel's side, there's no way you watched that reunion and honestly felt like he was on her side. Imagine somebody sitting there having all the tears in the world for the ex-husband who made the decision. It wasn't a mistake. It was a choice at the end of the day to blow up his family. And for that same person to then turn to you and say, well, when you rise into the top with your own career, you got to make sure you continue to stroke the ego of your husband. What?
and I have to say, for me, a lot of people aren't able to defend themselves the way Melody defends herself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would have been on the stage looking like, oh my God, I can't, like a Destiny, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not able to react, not able to answer the question. But Melody is always on ready. Do you understand? And I think that if we learn nothing else from this show, we have to watch people and how they handle themselves and take it on as a part of our own testimony sometimes, and realize you got to be prepared, because it's not the first time she's heard that garbage.
Yep.
It won't be the last time, but it'll be the last time he ever says it.
Yeah, because he did try to push that in that review with Dustin, and Dustin was the one that had to check him, like, dude, like, Mel was the one who had to build his license, and like,
and he also told him Melody has never torn that man's business down on the show.
Nope, that was the Scotts.
It was the Scotts. It was the Scotts who brought up that he didn't have a builder's license. It was the Scotts. All of those things that he's calling these people friends, she's never done that to him.
Nope.
And there is something to be said for that. And I'll just say that there's something to be said for the fact that Melody has never tried to come for him like that. Ever.
No.
Ever.
Because, I mean, if she really wanted to emasculate him, she could.
She definitely could.
She could. And when she brought up that, like, they laugh at you, they talk about you not having a builder's license, they literally tap danced in his face that entire reunion, and all he sat there and did was laugh while they laughed at him.
You're right.
But he don't have smoke for them in the way he has smoke for Mel.
You're right.
And that, to me, is alarming, and he's going to have to answer to his children for that.
You're right. You're right.
But that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming up. Thank you.
No problem.
I hope to see you again.
You will. Have a good one.
You too. Okay. Did you get it fixed?
I don't know, Dyana, how I sound.
You sound better.
Okay, but Simply Beautiful hit everything on the head that I wanted to say about the Destiny and the credit thing. So she hit it all on the head there, because it's not making sense to me. I'm just not understanding what. Well, I understand why they doing this now, why they bringing it up. But Destiny might have put her own. You know how the other saying, Dyana, you wrote your mouth wrote a check that your behind can't cash, because now she's sitting up there and co-signing all that stuff about Carlos. So you know he'll be all right with you talking about Melody. He don't care about that. But now you sitting up there co-signing stuff about him. So that might be a whole problem, especially you don't even bring nothing to the show. So that might be a whole problem for you.
Yep, I agree. I'm looking at this comment. It says they all need to sit down and watch themselves from season 1. Kimmy made the comment that we need to start from the beginning, when all of this went down from the beginning. And we should have a show of where they start from the beginning.
You know that said blogger, I won't say her name. You know, the other day she had did the review, and I'm not subscribed to her, I never was. But you know how sometimes you know how the algorithm push you up, and so a person's channel will pop up, and then you clicking on to see if you like it or not. So that's how I got to her. I've seen her on there before, but I just never, subscribed to her. I never listened to her. But I just said, well, let me see what she's saying about her review, about the review, about the 3. When a lot of people in her comments was telling her, no, man, they said her name. You wrong. You not watching it. Because what really turned me off about her when she said, well, everybody's upset that Wanda said that about Mel's kids, but you can't be talking about going on Carlos' show and saying something about her and then get mad at the way she responds. And I said, did this lady not hear this woman talking about Melody for a whole year, calling her all types of female dogs and streetwalkers? And all she said was, your baby daddy was in my DM. She didn't say nothing like derogatory. Well, she did call her hooked on phonics. But
Child.
But nothing, that was fun shade. You know what I'm saying, Diana? It wasn't nothing like she calling this lady all out her name and all of that. It's really, I don't know how Mel does this, because I'm going to tell you, Diana, I pray every day, and the Lord knows, I'm not equipped, because I'd have been popping people all in their face. It'd have been on. I'd have had my cousins there for Martel, Marsu, and Maurice at the reunion. I'd have had my female cousins, because the females in my family crazier than the men. They'd have been jumping on Destiny and Tisha. I'm not, you talked about my kid, I'm not built like that. And I really pray and I ask God, really I do. Oh Lord, don't, just try to ignore, when somebody do something. But I'm not built like that. So that grace that she has on her to be able to take all of this, I really pray that God give that to me, because you can't say nothing about my son. It's going to be a whole problem. You probably can get away with saying stuff about me, but you can't do nothing about my child. That's a whole nother.
If we learn nothing else, she said, stop being active. Learn to hear what people are trying to throw at you so that you can come back with the answer, right?
Yeah.
And I have always appreciated that she has learned to slow down and do that.
Yeah. And I get that, like I said, I get that aura from you and like Queen Sheba too. That's why I really like draw to y'all. You really, because y'all give me, I said, okay, people out there can articulate themselves without going off on somebody, even if they wrong. So like I was on Queen Sheba's live last night, and the lady was in the comments saying that she was going to report her channel for something about medical thing. Queen Sheba said, oh no, you not. She said, hold on. So I was next, I think, or 2 people ahead. I said, Queen Sheba, I'll drop down so you can let her up. Queen Sheba read her so classy, nicely. The lady came up and then she got nervous and hung up.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, but Queen Sheba said, no, we're going to address this. She said, you're not going to sit there and threaten what I built, and we're going to talk about it. And so the way, people don't expect people to react that way. They expect us to act a certain other kind of way. You know what I mean? But Queen Sheba did it classy, honey. And so that's why I think that made the lady more nervous, because maybe she was more ready for a fight. But it wasn't that. Queen Sheba said, no, we're going to have a conversation about this. And when the lady got up there, she hung up and went away.
Well, that's how it be sometimes. People are just trolls. You got to recognize who's a troll, who's worth your time, and who isn't.
Because even when you give a little read, you be a nice, so classy read. I said, y'all give them reads that, did she just read me, or was she trying to be nice? That's when the confusing read be like, excuse me, did she just, wait a minute, was she trying to be nice, or did she just read me?
The nice read. Nice little read.
So y'all are good people. Yeah, but Simply Beautiful hit everything I want, and ain't nobody buying it, Destiny. You can go on over there to them people that want to say whatever they want to say. They trying, and then another, I'm going to go after this comment here. I was watching Chef Don earlier, honey, and he was so up in the roar because they done put him, Marcella and Wanda done put him up in there saying that he's the one that's been calling Wanda threatening, and he was so upset. I felt so bad. I felt so bad. And they, I listened to the recording, and at first it was not Wanda who brought up Mel's name. It was not her. She just said, somebody keep calling me. And then Marcella said, well, somebody must have said something to her in the comments. So she said, well, it was, we don't know if it was Mel or not that was involved. And then Wanda said, no, I didn't say it was Mel. I don't know if it was her or not. But that was her, I guess, I don't know what's going on over there, but he was very upset. But she did make the insinuation that it was Chef Don and a couple of other YouTubers who was calling her, and he was so.
Okay, Renetta, your phone is gone out again. You are have a lot of static on your phone, so I have to shut your phone, your mic off. Okay. Okay. So okay. I'm gonna let you come down, but I appreciate you coming back up.
No problem. Thank you.
Come back. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So yeah, I think I was calling him Chef Don, but it's Chef Don Don. So my bad. That was the first time I had heard about the other incident I told you guys about at the beginning of the show. So we have been on for quite a minute. It looked like a 3-hour live. So I appreciate every single one of you guys for staying on with me. If you can hit the like button on your way out, we have 1,200. Thank you guys for getting me up there. Thank you to all of the panelists who came up tonight. You guys had plenty of amazing things to say. Thank you to my moderators. I know Tanga J was out there working hard. I saw a couple of people also just helping me get my likes up. I appreciate all of you. Let's see what Lakeithia says. Diana, you have more subscribers than that other blogger. I'm trying, y'all. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody who subscribed and who have become members of my channel. And I will check you all later. My voice is getting a little dry, so I'm going to sign out, but I will see you all on the next one. Good night, guys.